Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Down the Line podcast. Ethan, as we're recording this, we're just over 24 hours, I think, away from opening day.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
We're
Got
back.
hopefully another legendary year of baseball ahead.
We're back.
We
When
are.
you are all hearing this, it will be like, I don't know, probably like 8 hours or something from opening day, from the first game of the year. We're hype. We're back.
Look, 2026 is off to an incredible start with the World Baseball Classic that just ended.
WBC, no, that was a
We're
classic.
in for something big.
We're
We're in
in
for
for
something
we're in for
fun.
scenes this year. We're in for absolute scenes.
Yes.
WBC was scenes. Um, I think we have a pretty nice year ahead of us. However that's gonna go, I think we're gonna have a good year ahead of us. So there's a lot
Yeah.
for a lot of people to be excited about this year. So I mean, you know what's going on. So um, we decided, since the season is just there, we are right there. We're so close. We're going to give our preseason predictions. We're going to do standings, we're going to do awards, and then we're going to do some breakout and bounce back candidates as well. However, there are some things that we want to talk about first. Number one, last night there was news that broke of a big extension. So, a long-term agreement was agreed upon. A long-term extension was agreed upon between the Cubs and Pete Crow Armstrong. Now, the details took like 20 hours to get revealed. I don't know how that took that long, but
Well, because I personally, I think it was just a premature reporting that it was done. I think it was finalized, just like the final
it
details. So
could
I
have
don't
been.
think they knew last night. Yeah,
It's
I
just
think
weird
that's
because
just what it
you
was.
never see stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was reported at what, like, I want to say around like 11 o'clock or midnight or something like that,
Yeah, yeah, it definitely
or like
felt like
1
it should have
a.m.
came
or
out at
whatever it
some point
was.
last night, but
Yeah, it was 11:30. That's the first. That's the earliest
sounds
I'm
about
seeing of
right.
it.
Yeah,
Earliest I'm seeing of it is like around the. Oh, sorry, it was like 11 o'clock, and then at, what was it, like 6:45 today? So for us, it was like 20 minutes ago, or 6:50. Just about the details of that came out. So it is a 6-year, $115 million contract extension that is going to start in 2027. It's not going to start this year. Um,
eyes out 2 years of arbitration for him.
yeah,
I believe it is.
2 years of, so it's buying out 4 years of club control and then 2 years of free agency. Um, I'm not Ethan. I guess you saw what we were saying in the Discord. You know what? You know what Nick had the line at?
Would he have it?
He said over under $120 million.
Ooh, just under. Yeah.
I said
I mean,
over because I
I
thought it was going to be longer than 6 years. I thought it was going to be like an 8-year deal. But
yeah, I thought it was gonna be something about 8 years, but looking at it like that, I mean, I do really like that contract for both sides. I mean, he's getting some guaranteed money, and obviously for the Cubs, they're saving money in the long term. They're saving a couple years of free agency, which, if he continues what he's able to do with the tools that he possesses, would be commanding a lot more money than the 19 and change that he's making per year.
yeah, the only thing that he's missing is like a little bit of offensive consistency.
Yeah,
If he can be like consistently, like, do you want to say, I'm not even going to say what he was in the first half. He was like a 135 WRC plus bat in that half. If he's like a 115 WRC plus bat consistently, he's one of the best center fielders in baseball. Probably the best. Like, honestly.
one of the best outfielders in baseball, you could
Yeah,
say.
honestly. He's like probably a top 2 center fielder minimum. It's like him and Julio, right? He's
Yeah,
He would be arm and leg probably above everybody else. One of the best outfielders in ball. That is well worth, would you say, 19 and change. I don't know what the details just dropped, so we don't have the full contract breakdown, so I don't know
yeah.
exactly what the free agent years are looking like. But whatever that ends up equaling out
I
to,
would imagine north of 25 ish
that's
could
what I
be
would think.
maybe.
That's what you
Yeah.
would think. So, I mean, we'll see what it ends up coming out to. But I mean, you compare it to something like Jackson Merrill. Like, that was the comparison we were doing last night. Was like Jackson Merrill got like
Oh
eight
yeah.
130, and I'm like, PCA is blowing that out of the water. In my mind, like, his value is so much higher than Merrill's. Respect to Merrill, but PCA is just better. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, he is just more valuable than that. And I mean, he damn near cracked 130, and didn't even get 7 years. So I mean, I think that tells you all that you really need to know. So
Yeah.
it's the Cubs just
No, for
buying
sure.
in on one of their guys, which I mean again respects. I know that there's some people with a little bit of skepticism towards PCA, and you know what, I get it because of the bad second half, and I'm not gonna say that it was like a fluke because there's those things there. There's a lot of not great swing decisions and all that kind of led to it. So I can't say it's
Yeah.
totally like unwarranted, but like
Yeah.
it's hard to it's hard for me to look at this and be like, yeah, I don't like this deal. You know what I mean? So it is what it is
Yeah.
there. Another small thing. Well, not small thing. The Tigers, they're calling up their top prospect, the number 2 prospect in all of baseball, Kevin McGonigal. He's going to start the season on the roster.
Yeah, I mean that's the second top prospect that we're seeing guaranteed to start with JJ Weatherholt of the Cardinals also making the big league team.
Yeah, actually, I forgot. I forgot that was a thing last night too. He also made the squad. There's gonna be some the rookie of the year races are gonna be nice this year. Eventually, Connor
Oh
Griffin's
yeah.
gonna get added into that mix in the NL. It's gonna be nice out here, especially for the Tigers. Like that's like kind of a position that if he's able to adjust quickly to the major league level, that's a good position. Like they're gonna need that. Like shortstop, second base. Second,
Yeah.
he probably won't play there over Glaber. Like Glaber will probably play second, but
Yeah.
if they start him at short, like if he provides value that they're hoping, they got something pretty nice there. Like right off rip.
Yeah. And speaking of shortstop and contracts, some big news came out of Baltimore the other night with a uh, article with John Heyman, or a report at least from John Heyman. So this was back in, I think 2 weeks ago. This was his his article.
Oh, is this the Gunnar
But there
Henderson
was a
stuff?
report. Yes. So Gunnar Henderson received an extension offer during last year's spring training. It was not accepted, and it's now believed that the chances of an agreement are a long shot at best. So definitely some interesting things to note there. It does mention about how he is a Boris client, so obviously, you know how that can get.
Mm-hmm. They like to
Uh,
test.
and the Orioles have been willing to spend more. I mean, we saw them, Basayo, they locked up. They gave Pete Alonso the 5-year,
Mm-hmm.
$155 million deal, just threw him in the bag, who's also a Boris client.
They've
But
been willing to get a little more aggressive, and they showed that this offseason, which is a good sign if you're an Orioles fan. I mean, we'll see what happens with Gunnar. Like, he still has 3 more years left of team control. Obviously, you would like
yeah.
a long-term extension, like same kind
But
of
now I gotta
principle of
ask,
PCA or whoever else. We'll see what happens.
what does a Gunner contract look like?
So, one thing is that number is going to start a lot higher. Those pre-RBRs are gone. You are starting in arbitration now, right?
Do you think it starts with a number bigger than 5?
You know what? I'm thinking about it now. So he's going to end. So he has 3 more years of service time. So 26, 27, 28. He's going to be, what, 27 when he hits free agency? 20, 28? This is age
27, I
25.
believe, yep.
He's going to be done his age 27 season when he hits free agency. He might. Ooh, you know what? That's an interesting question. Does it start at 500?
I'm looking at some long-term deals. I'm seeing Seager, I'm seeing Lindor, I'm seeing Prey. Because Bobby Witt's not a fair comparison because of when he signed his contract. He wasn't actually like a free agent. That was when he was still under team control. So I'm thinking the number of the AAV would have to be similar to Seager and Lindor. Let's say it comes in around Correa's at 33.3.
It's gonna be like basically a free agent contract because you're gonna at this point like you have this year his salary set 8.5. Let's say next year's around like 18, 19. I don't know what his actual estimate is. I'm just kind of throwing a number out there. Usually that last RBR is usually around what they kind of end up getting in free agency. So you want to say that the last year is like a $30 million or something like that. He'll probably get more, but let's just say 30, right?
Yeah.
You want to say 30 for that? He cracks 10 years easily, I think, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, especially if this is somebody who's hitting the market, not an extension. I think teams are going to be more willing to give out a contract with term, something like I don't know if it's going to be like what the Padres did with Tatis, giving him 14 years. But I think 11 is a good baseline. That's what we saw Bobby Witt sign for, who is
12, 13.
you know,
if he signs something right now, I think like a 12, 13-year deal makes a lot of sense. He's 24. Like, he hasn't
it
turned
does,
25
yes.
yet. He plays he plays some pretty premium. Like, he plays shortstop a lot, right?
Yeah, primary shortstop. Like, I think that 14 years at like, but the thing is, this is like, I don't want to say it's a rare situation, but it's like it's a unique one in the sense of, you know, I don't think that it's easy to just give a number of like, oh yeah, 35 a year and say that'll get it done. And a lot of contracts you see, like, the longer term they get, the lower the AAV comes because, they're giving them the term. But, like, I don't know if that's the case here. I don't think giving term is going to lower the AAV because especially if he hits the open market, there's going to be a full on bidding war.
The different, yeah, a term in a lot of cases can be used to lower AAV, but in his case, because he's so young, like, you're just getting
It might
term
raise it,
anyways.
honestly, if
Like,
anything.
at 10 years, it's like, okay, I'm going to hit like, if you give him 10 years right now, okay, I'm going to hit the market again at 34. Why would I want to hit the market again at 34? Give me another 4 years. Like, just give me 4 more years. Like, at this point. And it's not like you see, like, think about it, like, obviously, I don't know if Soto's 100% a fair comparison, but I'm using the principle of, like,
I
Juan
mean,
Soto.
yeah.
Like,
No,
he was like 20.
yeah.
What was he, 26 when he hit the open market? He got 15 years in it.
Was he 26? Yeah, I think 26.
What was it, 760, whatever it was?
Yeah, it was 15
There
years,
was the
765.
thing with the opt-outs, we can bring it to 800, but, the principle of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
the Gunnar Henderson thing. Like,
And
it's that principle, right? Like, he's
look,
so good. The AAV is so you can have him for that long. It's not so you can lower the AAV.
yeah. And I know it's short term, but I definitely think Bo Bichette's name is going to pop up in the contract discussions because yes, it's only 3 years, but 42 million. He might feel that he's better. He might feel that he deserves more in a year than Bichette does. That might be a talking point. Like, hey, Bichette got 42. I want 40.
It like on one hand, like, you can argue like, well, they shouldn't base it off of whatever else, but we do see this happen. Like, if you remember when Lindor signed his deal, and it was like, I think, barely above what Tatis got. At that point, yeah. Tatis was still a shortstop, but it was like, I think, what was Tatis, 340? Lindor waited so he could sign like 341 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, you see these things happen, right? So
yeah,
that makes a lot of sense where Gunnar would say, all right, listen, like, this guy got 40 million. I'm better than him. I want 40, but I want like 12 years. Right? Or 13 years or whatever he ends up getting. And, it might sound crazy because, contracts are inflating really quick, but Gunnar is just, like, that good that he probably could do it. Like, honestly. Like, we're talking about he just had a down year and he was, like, a 5-win player. Like, that's the kind of player that we're talking about.
I'll say this, if he could do what he did in 2024 over again, 37 home runs, 154 WRC plus, while also playing, good, like, very good defensively
plus
at the shortstop. At shortstop, I don't think it's crazy to say you could be looking at 50 million a year.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I'd quite go 50, but like somewhere.
If he hits almost 40 home runs with a 154 WRC plus again, I don't see why not.
You know what? Yeah, I can kind of see it. I don't know if that's
obviously 50 a year wouldn't be like a 14-year deal. That would be like probably closer to like 10, but it's definitely a possibility. I think the number right now, like personally, the number that I would predict per year would have to be based off of like the comps. I'd say like probably 37.
I think you could. Yeah, I could see like somewhere like high 30s, maybe around 40, something like that. because especially when you consider the top.
Long term, like 15 years, I would say like 37. Shorter, like 11, 12 years, probably 40.
When you consider like the top free agents of this offseason, like you consider Kyle Tucker, like a lot of people were considering, those longer term deals for him. A lot of people were guessing around 35 to 40 million per year over like a 10, 11 year whatever deal. I think Gunnar can outpace that a little bit. I think he can.
Yeah, I mean, 60 million a year for Tucker makes me as a Jays fan a lot more, not satisfied, but it makes me feel better.
Well, yeah. To be fair, like obviously that's a shorter term deal. That was why the AV was so high. What I'm suggesting.
Oh no, I'm just saying
what I'm suggesting is people were projecting Tucker to get like 35 to 40 over a 10, 11 year deal, going into free agency after what some people would call a down year. I don't really think so as much, but
No, but I was more so saying though, like that as a Jays fan, I'm happy with the Tucker thing. It's like, okay, we didn't miss out because like we just didn't want him. It's because the Dodgers fucking paid him a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, but it's like when you take that principle and I think you apply it to Gunnar, I think when you take those sort of valuations, I think that Gunnar right now I would give him more money than I would have given Kyle Tucker in like November. So when I take those sorts of projections and I apply them to Gunnar, I'm like, Gunnar outvalues those projections. I think he could, honestly, if he got a 12-year deal, I think he could crack 40 a year.
Yeah.
I think he could. He could somewhere between there and 45, which it sounds crazy because not long ago we were, 300 million was the biggest contract in MLB history. And now we're like blowing past that. Like it's not even a thing. Like, it's not even a thing anymore. Like, it's a joke. That's a joke of a deal now. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Also, really, really random thing. This has nothing to do with the previous conversations. I think we're kind of ready to move on from the stuff. This is just something I scrolled by on Twitter like an hour and a half ago. Did you see Frank Thomas is suing the White Sox?
I did not.
They were promoting some sort of, like, merch. And here, hold on. I'm pretty sure I bookmarked the tweet. Hold on. So it was something about Frank Thomas is like suing the White Sox because they were, here it is. So the White Sox, Nike, and Fanatics, they were selling like the City Connect jerseys, right? And you know how on all like the jersey websites they'll have like the front and back and they'll have a name on the back, just for like a preview of what it actually looks like and everything?
Yeah.
They were using Frank Thomas on it, but they weren't paying him or something, or they didn't like get his permission, or nor were they compensating him for it. So he's suing the White Sox.
Oh, like they were selling like Frank Thomas jersey.
I don't think they were selling his jersey specifically, or maybe they were.
Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. That's kind of crazy.
I didn't fully look at it. Like I was like this. I saw this like literally like not long before we came on. I didn't have enough time to like fully look into it, but yeah, I think they're using Frank Thomas's stuff to promo their merch, and he's like, I didn't say you could do that. It's a little crazy. A little crazy for one of your franchise legends is a little nuts,
Yeah, I'm seeing it on the mannequin when they originally unveiled it. They had the 35, which signified Thomas, which is what he would say. And also on the actual website, they were selling legitimate Thomas jerseys with the name too.
Shit.
So I'm not like into law, like big into law. I don't know like the nitty gritty of everything, but I think that he's gonna win this case relatively easily.
Yeah, I cannot say I'm a legal expert. I am not a lawyer. That is not what I go to school for.
That's so if you ever hear us give legal advice, we advise you not take it.
Yeah, we are not responsible for any of the things that you might do as a result of us trying to give legal counsel. We are not qualified to do so. Don't listen to us on any such matters. So,
if you do, then unfortunately,
you might have to call a guy. Like you're on your own.
Yeah, you might have to call somebody like, maybe Saul. I don't know. Maybe
Saul. Some would say you better call Saul, but don't call us. Anyways, I think that we are just about ready to get into the main portion, unless there's anything else that I'm forgetting.
No, I mean, yeah,
So,
and everyone's favorite thing.
it is time for our preseason predictions. So, as I said at the start of the episode, we are doing our standings for each division. We are doing our major awards, MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. We are doing 2 breakout players, and we are doing 2 bounce back candidates. We are going to give our takes. We're going to give why. And yeah, and you guys can let us know what you think by the end, who you would have in these spots. So yeah, let's last time we started in the AL East, we're going to start in the NL West this time. Ethan, what do you got in the NL West? What are the standings looking like for you?
So, first of all, very interesting division because you got some teams who it's like, what can they do? Rough year last year for the Braves. Can they bounce back? The Marlins, they showed that they had some life late in the year. The Nationals, I mean, let's face it, that's my pick for number 5. I don't think I need to go too much into that.
We don't, yeah, we get it.
The big thing is, did the Mets do enough in free agency for me to say that they're going to win the division? I don't know. I just don't. I think that the Phillies kind of didn't do enough to cement themselves as one. So I would say the Mets are going to win the division, honestly.
Mm-hmm. For my standings,
I'll say the Phillies 2, Braves 3, Marlins 4.
I rock with that. For my standings, over out east in the NL, I got the Nationals at 5. Don't really have to explain that one. I got the Marlins 4. I got the Braves 3. I got the Nationals 2. I got the Mets 1. So I have the same thing as you. It's a little bit of an
the Phillies too.
Because
you said Nationals too.
Did I say Nationals too? I meant Phillies too.
Yeah.
I said see, they're so good. I got them in 2 spots. Sorry, Nationals 5, Marlins 4, Braves 3, Phillies 2, and Mets 1. Sorry, I misspoke. So again, like you said, this is an interesting division. Did the Mets do enough? Because on paper, I don't think that their lineup is super crazy better than last year, right? I think to an extent, there's a little bit of variance that I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt on. Their rotation is undoubtedly better. You're gonna have, I expect a good year out of Nolan McLean. Obviously, they just got Freddie Peralta. I can't foresee a world where they have the bullpen implosion that they had in the second half last year. I just can't possibly see how they're gonna have something that disastrous again. So I like that. The Phillies got a little bit worse to me. Their core of players is aging. On top of that, they lost Suarez, so their rotation is a little bit worse. Zach Wheeler is going to be out for a little bit of the year. I don't think he's not going to be out too long. I don't think Zach Wheeler's going to be out a month or something. Is that how long he's supposed to be out for? I think he's supposed to come back.
I think that
in May. So I still think they're going to be good. That's why I have them second. But I think that there's a little bit of things that are just pushing against the Phillies right now. That I don't really know how confident I would be picking them to win the division. And then as for the Braves, Ethan, I guess you probably have the same thought process. You had in 3 as well. The Braves, I think, are going to be good again. But there's a lot of question marks on this team. A lot of it is their core guys. Are they going to stay healthy?
Yeah.
Is everyone that
the talent is there for this team. That's never the issue.
Does everyone you would hope to have a bounce back season actually have a bounce back season? You know what I mean? I would hope, and I would expect a good year out of Spencer Strider, Austin Riley, but I don't know that. You know what I mean? And even if, let's say, Strider is off to a really good start in the year, listen, I love Spencer Strider. I think that when he's on the mound, he is one of the best pitchers in baseball, right? But there is a lot, even if he's pitching out there and he's good, there is injury concern, right? That has been shown time and time again. When he missed the year with Tommy John, and then he came back, and then he almost instantly got injured again. And then I think he got injured a second time after coming back. It is a thing where I wouldn't be surprised if they were ahead of either one of the Phillies or Mets. It would not surprise me. But I have trouble definitively saying yes. I'm going to pick the Braves over the Phillies. I'm going to pick them over the Mets because there's just a lot of question marks on this team. Anywhere I look, I'm like, well, there's this. It's hard for me to look at anything that the Braves have going on and say anything that doesn't start with okay, but or well, actually, you know, like it is very iffy. But with that said, I do still think that they're going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah.
I want to talk quickly about the Marlins though, and then we can go on to the Central. The Marlins, I think, are a little bit of an interesting team. I don't expect them to be like that good. Obviously, I have them fourth in division, but this is an interesting team, right? They're not like bad. Like they have some pretty good talent all across the field. Like they have position players like Otto Lopez is pretty solid. Kyle Stowers is a tremendous hitter. Xavier Edwards isn't bad. They have some pretty young talent. Agustin Ramirez is pretty good on the pitching side. Like Sandy, a lot of people are predicting to have a bounce back year. Yuri Perez is like some people's sleeper Cy Young pick. Like they have guys, right? I don't think they're going to be a wild card team. Spoiler alert. I don't think the NL East is going to have 4 playoff teams. But, like, the Marlins are going to be an interesting watch this year. Like, I'm very interested to see how their season's going to go. They're one of the more interesting teams in the league for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Marlins definitely have some interesting pieces. One thing that I really like is the return they got from Edward Cabrera and Owen Casey. I think Owen Casey is somebody that showcased that, on the big stage in the World Baseball Classic that, he can be that guy. He's still young. He's not even 24 yet.
Shout out Owen Casey.
We've seen some great potential from him being able to hit the gaps pretty well with the ball or just kind of use the field. He's not like an overwhelmingly powerful guy in the sense where, you're expecting to hit 30 home runs, but it's somebody who I could definitely see put up like a 110, 115 WRC plus with like a 750 OPS and just be, a good hitter.
Yeah, like,
for this Marlins team.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think like he's probably gonna start. Is he starting the year in the bigs? Like, do we have that confirmed? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know why. I can't see why he wouldn't.
I can't see why he wouldn't either. He's there. Like the WBC show. Like he had a pretty good WBC, and on top of that, he's the 42nd ranked prospect in baseball. He has a 60 grade power tool, 60 grade arm. He's going to be really good, even if he doesn't. He's not like peak form year one. That's a pretty crazy thing to expect from rookies in a lot of cases. But like whether it's this year, like this year, even if he gets it going this year, I could expect a good year out of him. And then after that, like this kid's good. Like this kid's legit, man. Shout out Burlington, Ontario. You know. But like this kid's legit. So that's gonna be another thing. Like I think the Marlins are just gonna be a fun watch this year.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the NL Central. I'll do mine first, I guess. So in 5th place, I have the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
In 4th place, I have the Cincinnati Reds. In 3rd place, I have the Milwaukee Brewers. In 2nd place, I have the Pittsburgh Pirates. And in 1st place, I have the Chicago Cubs. What do you got, Ethan?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I have.
That's exactly what you have, eh?
Yeah, I'm very big on the Pirates this year.
We're on the Pirates Kool-Aid.
I'll go more into the specifically players on the Reds after, because there's one guy in mind I do want to talk about. But as a team, I don't know. I just think that they have some injury problems with guys who either get hurt a lot or are currently hurt. Not having Hunter Green to start the year is going to be tough. I think they're going to get off to a slow start. Offensively, they're just not too overwhelming. Yes, they have some guys, and again, there's one guy in particular I do want to talk about. But I don't know. The bottom of that lineup just isn't scary at all. Suarez coming in free agency, very good pickup for them for this team, but he's just so boom or bust in the sense of you don't know what you're getting. you know, he's a true two outcome hitter. Basically, he'll either strike out or he'll hit a home
And the
run.
thing is, he's
It
really
feels like
streaky.
yes, there'll be stretches where he'll have like a week where he hits 5 home runs and then he won't hit another home run for like a month. There are definitely times where that happens with.
Yeah, their lineup does not scare me at all. If I was going up against them in a postseason series, I'm telling my pitchers, y'all got that. I think
Yeah,
their bullpen can be one of like the better bullpens in baseball, but I
yeah,
don't think that that is nearly enough to offset. Number one, like
but
Hunter Green is down. Their rotation out, like once you get past like Andrew Abbott, Nick Lodolo, I'm not in love with the rotation. Like
Chase Burns, I do think can be good. Could be pretty good, but I mean, not having Hunter Green to start the year is definitely unfortunate.
I think the
And I
thing
mean, he's coming off of elbow surgery, so like there's obvious complications that could happen. He might, not be on track. He might slow down. He might feel more discomfort. Like, who knows?
I
We
think
won't know until we actually see him back.
the other thing is too with Hunter Green going down, there's a lot more pressure like on like someone like Chase Burns now to
Yeah,
kind of step up and be into that role because Hunter Green when he's on, he's insane. He's gross. He's one of the best pitchers in the National League. You now don't
yeah,
have that for what is he out like 2 months? I think he's out till like June, July,
yeah, at least.
something like that. That's a big loss. That's
Yeah,
almost half the season that he's going to be missing of someone who very easily could be the number one in this rotation. I would argue he probably is the best pitcher in this rotation, like just from a pure talent standpoint. He's
yeah.
gone for 2 months, 8 weeks, whatever it is, whatever it ends up being. The rest of your rotation isn't like I'm not in love with it. You know what I mean? Your bullpen's solid, but it's not like great. Like it's good. It's above average. It can probably be a top 10, 12 bullpen in baseball. Your lineup does not scare me. Gino again, good addition, but a lot of your lineup lacks a lot of like your lineup doesn't scare me. It lacks a lot of oomph, a lot of boom. And plus, I also don't trust the consistency of their lineup as well. Like, I just don't trust it. So that's why I have them four. Um, I want to talk about the Pirates, though. We're on the Pirates Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
We are drinking it. Pirates, I am buying all the Pirates stock right now. I think that this team is going to be pretty fucking good. I think they're going to make the... I think that they are going to make some noise in the NL. Obviously, I have them second place in the Central. You do as well. What have we been saying about the Pirates for the past, 5 months? They just need some bats, right?
Yeah. And they got him.
They got a few bats. They didn't get any, top-end bats, right? But Brandon Lau, Rhino Hearn, a certain guy that we don't condone.
The guy that was on the Braves.
The guy that was on the Braves.
But here's the thing, though.
They're positive
You
bats.
say that they're not big bats, but at the end of the day, a 30 home run hitter, a guy who's done it multiple times, in Brandon Lau, is not just big for this lineup. That's a good addition for any lineup.
When I say not big bats, I don't mean
No.
Sorry,
I
mean
know, but I'm saying the pickups that aren't considered huge.
they aren't
are
top.
still
They aren't top end bats. Is
make
what
this
I'm getting
team
at.
significantly
It's not
better.
how
Yeah,
they
no,
were
I know.
rumored on Kyle Schwarber. I would even say Josh Naylor's in that combo. Like how they were rumored on Kyle Schwarber. That's a top end bat. You know what I mean? These guys are not.
Oh, I know.
But they are.
I was just saying,
to this lineup.
if that's a guy who's not considered a top end bat, then you really did a good job, getting a couple of those guys to round out
you
this
got
team.
3 of those guys. Connor Griffin is going to be here sooner or later. At some point this year, he's coming up. I don't think it's going to be that long.
Yeah. So what I've been reading is that the Pirates are kind of, I don't want to say regretting, but they're kind of they don't want to have a repeat of what happened with Skeens, where they didn't get the prospect the comp pick for the call up for the incentive. So possibly that could make Connor Griffin come up sooner rather than later too, so they could potentially get that pick for him as well.
Yeah, he's gonna come up sooner or later. It's not gonna be that long. even if they do the thing with the service time manipulation, so they get an extra year on him, what does that take? Like a
Yeah,
couple weeks at this point?
I think it's like I don't know exactly the cutoff, but
Like it's not long. Like he's gonna
no.
be up in April. I'd be shocked if he's not up by the end of the month. And honestly, even then, I think is kind of pushing it. He's
Yeah,
coming.
it's the only reason I think not starting is because they just want to know what they have first, and they want him to just kind of get some reps. Because if they keep him, on the major league roster and have him on the bench or whatever, if you like, what for whatever reason, like maybe he's not getting as many reps. Um, see what you got elsewhere. See what you have in Nick Gonzalez. See what you have in Nick York. See what you have in Triolo. See what you have in those guys. Because Connor Griffin could be as good as, you think he is. So kind of get a look at some guys who play the positions he played, and it's kind of like, all right, what do we have here? This guy's not doing great. Now we know we could DFA him. Connor Griffin, welcome to the team. Just kind of get an idea of who else you have on the roster. No need to just kind of throw him into the fire opening day.
Yeah,
He's
you don't
starting
need to.
shortstop.
You don't need to. Yeah, and I think that is part of the reason. Also, like he did have a rough spring. He looked, he was pretty raw in spring training. There was a lot of swing and miss, all that stuff. Connor Griffin, when he does come up, I think he's going to be really good, probably almost instantly. He feels extremely can't miss. Like, this is a 70 grade prospect. He's a 60 grade hit tool, 65 power grade. His speed and armor is 70 grades, 60 grade fielding. He feels extremely can't miss, right? I'm not saying he's going to be one of the best shortstops in the league from the second he steps onto the field. I'm not going to say that. I'm not saying that everything is going to instantly peak when he steps onto the field, right?
Right.
We see guys all the time. Not everyone hits the ground running. Not everyone is perfect. Some guys are still really good, but they still, it's not all the way there yet. Like for example, Bobby Wood Jr. was really good when he first came up, but it wasn't perfect. It seems crazy to think about right now, but when Bobby Wood Jr. first came into the league his first year, he was terrible on defense. He was like one of the worst defenders in baseball. And now he's like probably the best defensive shortstop in the league. Stuff like that just happens. You know what I mean? It's basic, player development.
Yeah.
Right? So, let's assume that you're getting like 110, 115 or so WRC plus seasons from like Lau, from O'Hearn, from that guy that we do not condone. And then you add Connor Griffin on top of that, and he comes in and puts, let's say he hits for a 125 WRC plus in his rookie year, right? I don't think that that's like that crazy of an expectation. Like, it's obviously a really good rookie year, but like we know that Connor Griffin's ceiling is so much higher than that. That's a pretty good, that's like a solid core for the offense.
Yeah.
Plus, you bring in their pitching staff. They have obviously a top 2 pitcher in the league in Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
You have another,
and top 2 is generous, I'd say, for how good he is.
well,
in the sense of like generous in the sense of like in the sense of like it's not downplaying, that he's not possibly the best pitcher in baseball.
yeah, it's like it's him or Tarek Skubal. You kind of just take your pick between them, right?
Exactly.
Just you kind of take your pick. But then you have another top prospect who is going to be in the rotation from the start of the season. Bubba Chandler is going to be there from the start. He is the 11th ranked prospect in baseball. Plus, your rotation outside of that isn't bad. Like, obviously a guy like, Oviedo, who they traded, would be nice, but like your rotation outside of Skeens is pretty good. Your pitching staff as a whole is pretty nice. You know how, Ethan, how much we have talked up the Pirates pitching and how good we think it's going to be. Plus, they had some pretty solid additions in the offseason. Like, I really like the Gregory Soto addition. If Jared Jones, when he comes back, they're projecting around like a late May comeback. If he comes back and he is what you expect from him, your pitching staff is ridiculous. Like, that's going to be one of the better rotations of baseball. Plus an offense that looks like it can be above average. Bullpen might be a bit of a question mark. It's not like great, but it's not bad. Like, you have some guys down there. This is a team that can make noise.
Yeah, I mean, Santana looked unbelievable. for them. Gregory Soto's an interesting addition. Justin Lawrence, I mean, it was only like 18 innings, but he had an ERA of like 0.5. I mean, Hunter Barco is a guy who I'm also high on. I think he has the potential to be a very good reliever in that bullpen. And Majinski, who is currently projected in the rotation due to the injuries and everything, I think his main issues come from not being able to face the order past the second time. His issues kind of start in the third, fourth inning. So when he starts facing guys multiple times, the issues come. You put him in the bullpen, he is a very good reliever. He would be probably a top 2 reliever on that team.
Yeah,
and not to mention one of my favorite trade acquisitions from them or for any team, Mason Montgomery, who is just
nice.
So disgusting.
Mason Montgomery he's nice with it. You know, people are gonna look at that ERA, they're gonna see, oh, it's 5. Don't let that fool you. This guy is one of the grossest pitchers in the league. He had a 90th percentile K rate, struck out just over 30% of the batters that he faced. 97th percentile whiff rate. Disgusting. 83rd percentile chase rate. The guy averages just under 99 on his heater. Plus,
which is a lefty, that's not something that you see that often.
It's not. And so they're not making a lot of contact off them. And when they do, 2/3 of those batted balls are on the ground, which is what you like.
Yeah.
That's what you like if you're a defense. You want your pitcher to induce ground balls and miss bats. He does both those things. The control, yeah, sure, it's not good. Like a 3rd percentile walk rate, I'm not going to sit here and say that secretly that's a gimmick. No. Like he has troubles with command, with control, whatever. It is what it is.
But it is worth noting that he did lower it from the 2024, obviously not, big sample size in 2024 pitching under 10 innings, but there was improvement.
Yeah. Plus, he's another really young pitcher on the staff. He's he's 25. Like, yeah. He's another guy if he can make a little bit of an improvement, which is a very fair thing to expect from a 25-year-old. If he can just get that under control like a little bit, let's say he can go from a 3rd percentile walk rate to like a 6th percentile walk rate. I don't think that's a crazy ask. Even something like that can help. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm high. I'm high on the Pirates Kool-Aid. I'm high on the Pirates.
A lot to like there from this team.
So there is a lot to like, man. Like, hell, I personally, I want to glaze and put them higher, but I'm like, all right, I can't put them above the Cubs. Like, the Cubs, I think, are too good. I think the Cubs have one of the better position player cores in baseball. They have one of the best defensive teams in all of baseball. Nico Hoerner, Dansby Swanson, right up the middle. They have, I almost said Nico Hoerner in center. Pete Armstrong in center. Seiya Suzuki in the corner. Like, they have guys. They have guys everywhere. Plus, the addition of Alex Bregman is going to be really good. I think that there is a chance that what Bregman potentially can bring could outweigh what Tucker brought you last year. I think that is a possibility. I think just Bregman being like a 5-win player, totally possible. Also, you know what addition I love? One of my favorite additions of the offseason?
Yeah.
Listen, as much as I love Owen Casey, I love Edward Cabrera. I think he's gross. I think he's disgusting. I think he is one of the more underrated players in baseball. I think that he is a beautiful addition to that rotation. That 1, 2, 3, 4 in whatever order, Matt Boyd, Edward Cabrera, Imanaga, Kate Horton. I think that's incredible. I think that's really good. I think that their bullpen is a little iffy, but I think that the rotation and their lineup is so good that they can worry about the bullpen later. They can worry about that at the trade deadline, and they should be fine. I think that they're pretty... I feel very comfortable that they're a good bit better than pretty much everyone in this rotation. Or in this rotation. In this division, excuse me.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say on the NL Central at all, or do we want to keep moving?
No, we can move on. Yeah, we can keep it rolling.
All right. We'll go the NOS, Ethan. Give me your picks.
So first place, the Rockies now. But in all seriousness,
Mickey Moniak MVP season? Is that what I'm hearing?
pretty easily that the Dodgers should win that division,
Yeah.
and if they don't win by at least like 5+ games, and I'd say that they didn't do their job. But
Mm-hmm.
definitely Dodgers in first. Um, I got the Padres in second, the Giants in third, Diamondbacks fourth, and Rockies fifth.
Yeah, that's the exact order I have.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to talk about the Rockies 5. Like that's pretty. Like they're in the
I will
trenches.
say
They're in the mud.
there are some bright spots in that team that could be fun to watch. I mean, obviously seeing what Hunter Goodman could do. Willie Castro signing there could be interesting. Tovar I like a lot. Edward Julian, he's Canadian. That's about all I could say about him. Um, and obviously, I don't love what they're doing with Dollander by putting him in the bullpen because
Yeah, that's
you're
weird.
really gonna tell me that Sagano needs the starts, that
That's weird.
Feltner needs the starts. It's just like
Like
let the guy develop.
need to do this gimmick. Like let your guys
Let
develop
the guy develop.
in the right spots. Like you're not like listen, I say this in the nicest way possible. You're not playing for anything this year. You're not
No.
pushing for a wild card spot. Like I don't know who you think you are. Like just develop your guys. Like just do it. Like I don't know what we're doing here. Beyond that, like the D-backs, like I don't like this team's just mid. Like I don't think this team's very good. There's some interesting things on this team. Like their top core, like their top 3 position players, like Perdomo, Marte, Carroll is ridiculous. But then after that, it's like,
Bernardo.
No, Moreno's good too. Actually, I'll throw that top 4. I'll throw that top 4 in there. After that, it's like, like ew.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that.
And as far as pitching goes, I mean,
they're opening the season without a lefty in their bullpen, and not to mention
Corbin Burns hurt. Zach Allen's currently their ace, and it's like,
which in the Big 26, like with all due respect, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely not a lot to look at and say, "Damn, this is a good team."
Yeah, like it's like we were talking about last episode, like when
their closer's Paul Sewell too.
Yeah, like it's like we were talking about last episode. It's like what are you doing? Like they sold, like we were near the end of the season last year. We were talking them up, I feel like a pretty good amount because they did a pretty solid sell, right? They traded Eugenio Suarez, they traded Josh Naylor, they traded Merrill Kelly, 3 really good players, right? And they almost made the playoffs after like hard selling.
Yeah.
They won like 82 games. Maybe they finished 500. I don't exactly remember, but they were like right there. They got eliminated like with like 3, maybe 4 games left.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of talks of like, oh yeah, Ketel Marte could get moved, and it's like, okay, they're selling off more. And that's the direction that you could say would be good. Perdomo, one of the best shortstops in baseball, 26 years old. Corbin Carroll, one of the best outfielders in baseball, 25 years old. Gabriel Moreno, their catcher, who's been very good, 26 years old. You could definitely say, yeah, we're going to sell some guys off, we're going to get younger, we're going to build for the future. But then you trade Fernando, you sign Carlos Santana, and now it's like, really, what direction are you trying to go in? Are you trying to win now? Because you're not good. You're not really good enough. Are you trying to win in the future? Because you're kind of getting older now. Like it's just
like it doesn't make sense.
I don't know, and I think they kind of went in a similar trajectory that the Rangers went on when they met in the World Series, except the Rangers obviously winning it, so they have something to show for it. The Diamondbacks unfortunately do not, and now they're stuck in a situation where they can't decide if they want to get younger or older, and they're kind of in the middle and not in a good way.
Like you need to pick a direction, and they are not the only team that is kind of guilty of this. But like when you look at this roster, you're not better than the Padres. You're not better. Obviously, no one's better than the Dodgers. But, you're not better than the Padres. You're not even better than the Giants. But so either make moves to become better than those guys, or at least compete with them, or go in the other direction and sell off your older guys so that you can build around like Corbin Carroll and Perdomo. Like, you can't not do either. Like, you need to do something, because if you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to be perpetually mid for years and years and years, and then when it's time to make a decision on, all right, what do we do with Corbin Carroll? He's gonna, time is accumulating on this contract. Same thing with Perdomo. You're going to reach a situation where, okay, you either extend him, right? And maybe your team's good by then, maybe it's not. I can't really say that they have a bright future outside of those two, and like Moreno. So I can't say I understand how their team would be better. So it's either that, you extend him, and you potentially just keep being mid because the rest of your team sucks, or you trade him then, when he already has 5 years of service time. He has the extension that goes through 2030. But even so, like, the same principle, like, you don't have a very bright future. You know what I mean? So even when when this extension is done, like, what do you do? Because, like, what future can I bank on with Arizona? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we're probably 3-4 years from them having to make a decision on Corbin Carroll. They have a 2030 club option on Perdomo, so we're like 3 years away from them having to make a decision on him. Like,
yeah, and I mean those 3 years are gonna come up a lot quicker than it's gonna seem like. So.
Like, it's like you don't have as much time. Like, one season. Like, in a year, you're gonna have 2 years left, whatever it is. Like, it's coming up. It's coming up. You don't have as much time as you think. Like, trust me, 3 years is not a lot. So, that's what I'm saying. The Giants are just the epitome of mid. I don't even want to talk about the Giants. I will say
that one of my breakout players is on the Giants, who we will get into.
I have a feeling I know exactly who you're picking. And you know what? Fair.
Okay, hold on. I'll ask this. Hitter or pitcher, do you think it is? Then it's not the same guy.
Okay, never mind.
Were you going to think I was going to say Eldridge?
Yeah.
Okay, no. I mean, I was thinking it, but the thing with Eldridge that's interesting is that, well, not interesting, but with Eldridge is that I think he's good. I think he's a very good prospect, don't get me wrong, but he's more of just a power hitter, which, yes, that's what this lineup can use, rather than, hey, I'm going to get on base and be like a, on-base machine. Doesn't walk a lot, strikes out a lot. He's just your stereotypical power hitter, and that could be very good. But I have a reason why I like this breakout player more.
Okay.
But we'll obviously get into that when we're done with the stand.
Yeah, we'll get to that at that point. I do want to say I think the Padres are really interesting because they lost some pieces in the offseason. Like, they lost Dylan Cease, they lost Robert Suarez. They feel a lot worse, right? But when I look at this team, despite losing Robert Suarez, that bullpen is still going to be ridiculous, right? Jason Adam isn't going to be out for like that long. Their bullpen depth is ridiculous. Their lineup I don't love. I don't love that they lost Ryan O'Hearn and didn't really replace him all that great. But at the same time, when I look at everything there, I'm like, all right. And I look at the rest of the division, I'm like, I still would take them over the Giants. I'd still take them over the D-backs. Obviously, I'm taking them over the Rockies. I would take them over the Dodgers, but, like, they're a worse team than last year. Like, I feel pretty confident saying that. Like, you lost a really good reliever. You lost
one
a
player
starter.
Yeah. One player I'm really excited about, though, is Sungmun Song. Coming over from Korea. He's still... he might not be fully polished for Major League hitting, but he held his own in Korea last season, 152 WRC plus with 26 home runs, 10% walk percentage, and a 14% strikeout percentage. Doesn't strike out a lot, walks a decent amount, has power. This could be somebody that, if you can just get some meaningful at-bats from him down the stretch, maybe like 105, 110 WRC plus with a couple big home runs, you're ecstatic with that. And that's all that's what this lineup could really use. The main problem with this lineup though is still the same thing that we talked about on like 3 different occasions throughout the season last season is this what the hell are they doing at the catcher position?
Yeah, like, yeah. What are we doing? We floated around like, all right, do they go for like JT Realmuto? And like it would be
I thought Adley would be in play for them, honestly, and I still think that he can be.
Yeah, we talked about that, like, like them and the Phillies were like the two top teams that we were throwing around for the catchers all off season.
Yeah.
But we're like Freddie Freeman on the team that wants to compete in the playoffs.
Luis Campusano,
like in the Luis Campusano with the big 26.
And it's not like they have like a insane catching prospect. I really am not that high on Ethan Salas, to be honest.
Yeah, and like even so, like Ethan Salas isn't going to do anything for them this year, right? Like he's not. You know what I mean? He's in the he play a little bit in the spring. He's not going to be on this roster for a while, right? So like
no, but yeah, I'm more saying like you can't even have that to fall back on. Like that's the thing. This is somebody who's struggled. He has struggled heavily at single A and double A. He was only 18 and 19 in those years. I'm not going to say that means he can't be anything, but he strikes out a lot. He doesn't really have pop, which from a catcher you don't see that often. But it's not like having a high strikeout rate without hitting home runs
is not good.
Is kind of it's a terrible combo to have.
If you're striking out a lot, like you're hitting for power, you're hitting a lot of doubles, homers, like it is what it is. You take it. You take it. You take what you take what you can get. But
yeah,
that's not a good combo. That's not a good combo.
No, and again, 18 years old, but playing in high A, he had a strikeout rate of 21%, ISO of 104. The power's just not there to justify striking out that much, which just tells me his bat-to-ball skills just really aren't as good as anticipated.
Yeah, so that's a little like that's a big red
It's definitely worrying
too. Also, just in general with their lineup, like I don't know what's going on. Last season, you would think that on paper this lineup has some pop, right? Just like looking at the names, Tatis, Machado, you would think, right? They were like bottom 10 in home runs. I think they were like 22nd in home runs or something like that.
Yeah, and I think they'll get some bounce backs here. I think Tatis is good for 30. I think Merrill's good for north of 20. Machado close to 30. Laureano 20. Cronenworth could, you would hope could get to around 20. Like, I definitely think they'll increase the amount of home runs they hit for sure, but they didn't make it easy in free agency in the sense of they didn't add anyone to really ensure that they're improving on the home run numbers.
They didn't, and a lot of other teams in the offseason, you would expect bounce backs or whatever, but they also were like, all right, we're gonna bring in the reinforcements, like, right, like that's what Baltimore did, that's what Atlanta did, where even if our guys aren't quite up to what we think, let's bring more guys in, and if they are good, great, we're just going to be even better, right? Like I will
say that bullpen is scary.
Disgusting. Still
you don't want to face you don't want to face Mortahan and Miller in the 8th and 9th inning of any game ever.
Jeremiah Estrada coming out of the pen and like the set like
that too. I mean that's
Jason,
the thing.
It's not going to be long until Jason Adams back either.
Yeah, I mean one of Jason Adam and Estrada are not going to be top 3 relievers on the team, which is just crazy to think about considering they'd be a top 3 reliever. Either of them on most teams, on pretty much every team.
Yeah, they're saying Jason Adam he should make his season debut sometime in April, most likely. So like he's gonna be back pretty early. Maybe gets pushed back to May because they set back. They're just caution or whatever. Like they're keep in mind, despite losing Robert Suarez, is just this good.
It's tough though with the injury that Adam had though. I mean, obviously, the quad, that's a muscle that's really crucial for any athlete, any person that does any sort of physical activity. Hopefully hopefully the rehab's been smooth and he's on target to reach that return date. But I'm confident that he'll be good to go before May for sure.
Yeah, he should. That's what they're
But I'm
saying.
not a doctor, let alone one for
I
the
am
one
not.
for the
Yeah,
Padres.
that's not my field. Like, I'm going based off
Yeah,
what
I will say,
what they're saying.
if you want to take our legal advice, that's one thing. Never take our
Do not take our
medical
medical
advice.
advice.
That
That's
would be
also not our
worse.
field.
No, we are putting a disclaimer. We're not responsible for any legal trouble or medical issues you may
If
have.
you get into any troubles like that, that's on that's on you. You got that.
Yeah, you could call us if you have a medical issue or a legal question, but unfortunately, the answer is not going to be good.
Yeah,
It's not going to be a
you
good
will
one.
not be liking what you hear. It will not
No,
be a good feeling.
yeah,
Also, I double checked the Padres. I said they thought they were ranked like 22nd, 23rd. They were 28th in home runs last year.
yeah, and a lot of that comes to the fact that they don't really have that depth in the lineup. I mean, now it's looking a bit better than it was last year in terms of depth, especially to start the year, because
You know,
obviously Laureano coming over at the
Ramon
deadline,
Laureano is so
obviously
good.
getting Andujar, who's not really going to help with the home run total, but just help with getting,
Just going to be another impact bat in that lineup.
yes, yeah, for sure.
Like in DH, first base, whatever he ends up playing on a given basis. But yeah, like you would hope
Yeah.
that Tatis can have a little bit of a bigger year because like I won't lie, like Tatis obviously he was incredible last year. Like there is no denying that he was really good. He was a 6-win player, 131 WRC
But
plus.
this is somebody who we saw hit 42 home runs in 2021.
Yeah, like
I
he
mean, we're not saying you need to be a perennial 40 home run hitter, but hitting the 30 home run plateau would be great for him.
from 2019 through 2021, he was a legitimate is superstar hitter pushing it? I don't know. But regardless,
No, I
those
don't. I
those
think I think he still is a superstar hitter.
those 3 years in the league, he had a 154 WRC plus, sported an ISO of 303, hit 81 home runs over that time. Keep in mind he
Yeah, like
only
we
played like 80
honestly
games
coming
2019.
coming in at 20 years old with 22 home runs in 84 games. That's superstar.
Yeah, but
Following it up, coming with 17 home runs in 59 games in the shortened season, and then following it up in your first full season in the majors, 42 home runs in 130 games, 158 WRC plus, almost a 7 F4. He's a superstar,
yeah,
and he has been since he came into the league.
yeah, but the only thing is like since then. He's obviously still been a really good hitter. The 125 WRC plus is really fucking good, especially once you factor in his value on the bases, his value in the field. His offense just simply hasn't been as good. Like even if it's still been really good, but it hasn't.
Yeah.
It was not as good as those first 3 years. It's that simple. Both things can be true.
Yeah.
With that said, though, like you said, he can be good for 30. His underlying numbers, he makes really good contact, has 95th percentile exit velocity, 93rd percentile hard hit rate. You would expect things to work out better, right? He finished the season 2025 with a 91st percentile expected WOBA, 370, which was a lot higher than his actual WOBA. It was about 20 points higher. This is the problem with Tatis, and I think this is the reason why he's underperforming a lot of these statistics. 2021, that was the year he popped 42 home runs. Or was it 42 or was it 41? 42.
He was 42.
42. This year, he popped 25, and he was still good, but he wasn't, 2021, he was like the runner-up for MVP, right? He's not as good of a hitter as he was 3 years ago. There's something that I look at on his StatCast page that really sticks out to me. Well, Ethan, what do I love in a hitter? What's something that I love in a hitter?
I mean, one thing.
I
mean, there's obviously a lot of things to look at. One thing is
what do I love when they do?
When they hit the ball hard.
When they hit the ball hard, he does hit the ball hard. He does it really good. But there's certain spots where I like when they hit it.
Pulling the ball.
I love when they pull the ball. I love when they pull the ball. I love when they pull
in
the
the
ball
air,
in the air.
especially.
In the air, especially. In 2021.
It's been down.
When he popped those 42 home runs, over 22% of his batted balls were in the air to the pull side. That is really good. This year, it was 12. Or I guess last year it was 12. 12%. That is a steep drop. So I think a big part of the reason why he's not maximizing his results is we're no longer getting as many balls in the air to the pull side. We're not hitting as many line drives. We're hitting a lot more balls on the ground. His ground ball rate is up like 8 percentage points from 2021. His line drive rate is down. He's hitting less ball. He's just hitting less balls in the air, period. And so even when he does hit the ball hard, now obviously he's still getting positive results. Like he's posted an OPS above 800 2 years in a row. Like he's still really fucking good. But
there's still another level he can unlock.
Imagine how good he could be. Like, we're talking about if he taps back into his peak offense, we're talking about a guy who can legitimately probably put up like a 9-win season. Like he can be that good, but he needs to unlock everything. If he unlocks everything, it's over. And that is going to unlock a whole new level for this Padres lineup. If they have that guy who could just be an absolute force. Because as good as a lot of their guys are, they don't have someone who's like that good. You know what I mean? With that specifically.
He needs to be... It's just the same theme that we've said for so many different players. He needs to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because if their guys are their guys. If Tatis does his thing, if Machado does his thing, if Merrill does his thing, this team is very good and will definitely slot in on a wild card spot.
Absolutely.
But that's a big if.
It is a big if. Like, it's a team that even though like they're good, but there's a lot of things you look at and like, you know.
Also, as much as I love their bullpen, they need some, rotation help for sure.
Yeah. That was the thing.
I'm pretty sure Germán Marquez is projected to start in their rotation. So
in the big 26, by the way. Like, in the tremendous 2026.
Yeah, it is. I will say it's one of the biggest travesties in the sport that this guy threw a... Oh, actually, that was Domingo Germán. I'm stupid.
Wrong Germán.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the wrong Germán, but
listen,
still.
Don't slander Rocky's legend.
It happens.
It's all good. Right-hander, Kyle Finnegan.
Yeah, exactly.
The Dodgers, first place, we both had them there. I don't really think we need to elaborate much on that.
No, we talked a lot about got even better.
We talked about the Dodgers a lot last episode, and I don't really think that there's much different that we would be saying now, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
I think we can just kind of skip past the Dodgers. Like, we get it. We said it a lot last episode. We're going to be saying it throughout the season. The Dodgers don't need much explanation. Like, they're the best team in baseball right now. It's pretty clear. We'll move on to the AL West. My pick, so I'll go first and then you can go. In fifth place, I have the Los Angeles Angels. In fourth place, I have the Athletics. No location. They're just the Athletics right now. Number 3, I have the Texas Rangers. Number 2, I have the Houston Astros. And number 1, I have the Seattle Mariners. Ethan, what do you got for me?
Yeah, so I have at 5, obviously the Angels too. I have the Rangers and Astros are tough because obviously Texas. It's very interesting to see because I love Wyatt Langford. I think he's gonna have a hell of a season. I think he's really gonna turn and blossom into a superstar. Corey Seager's obviously very good. I like Nimmo being added to that lineup, but it's all dependent on what that bottom of the lineup can do. As for Houston, they're getting older for sure.
They are getting older.
Altuve. I don't want to say Astros 4, but
this, I will say, was one of the harder divisions to try and project. I had a tough time with this one because,
I'm gonna say Astros. This is hard, man.
It is hard because when you look at it, the Astros.
Because I love the Athletics lineup, but their pitching scares me.
Their pitching's awful.
I'll say this: Athletics 4, but they're going to be one of the most fun teams to watch in baseball.
I don't think that the Athletics are that much worse than the Rangers or the Astros.
No,
their pitching just sucks.
Astros 3, Rangers 2, Mariners 1.
Yeah,
I think that the Athletics are going to be one of the most fun lineups to watch in baseball. It's going to be so much fun seeing Kurtz, Soderstrom, Rooker, Wilson, Langeliers, Butler, Like these guys are great.
This team's ridiculous when you look at that lineup.
Like
That
imagine, yeah, like that's the thing. Like obviously this could bite me in the ass because I'm a Jays fan and I could be jinxing it. But so I'm not gonna say team specific, but I'll just say imagine they're playing a game, right? They're on the road, and then you see, Kurtz, Langeliers, Rooker. They hit 3 home runs in the first inning. They're up 4-0, and then it's like, okay, this team, like this lineup, they're dangerous. They're doing so well, and then it's like, all right, let's see who's pitching, and then it's like Luis Morales or Luis Severino, and it's like,
all right, let's chill.
This lead's gone.
Let's chill on Sevy.
I know, but like. He's the ace. That's where you lose me.
Yeah,
though.
As good as I think, you know what? I think Luis Severino's really good, but past that, it's like, okay, number one, he can't pitch in that ballpark, which I mean, to be fair, that is a hitter's park of all hitter's parks. To be totally fair, but past Severino, it's who what's your Aaron Savali,
What about the Jeffrey Springs
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not believing in Jeffrey Springs Jeffrey Springs is solid, but that's your...
Yeah.
That's what is he, your 2?
And the bullpen, I mean, they speaking of the Diamondbacks who had no lefties, they have one lefty, it's Hogan Harris, who's projected as their closer. And in 64 2/3 innings last season, he had a walks per 9 of 459. Not really what you want to see from your closer.
Yeah, it's just not a good pitching staff, which...
No.
Sucks because I really do like this team. I've almost put them above Texas, but I'm just dude, I can't trust
in Team WRC Plus, they're going to be top 10 easily.
Oh, they might be
they might be borderline top 5.
They might be top 5.
That's what I mean. They are a lock for top 10. Top 5 is not pushing it, I don't think.
No, I don't think that's pushing it.
But in terms of ERA and how their pitchers are...
They're going to be bottom 5.
That's bottom 5.
They're going to be the Diamondbacks last year, because the Diamondbacks, if you remember, especially in the first half, their offense...
If they could get any outs at all, they would have made the playoffs. Holy shit, that was bad down the stretch.
Deadline came around, they were 4th in runs scored, but they were bottom 4 or 5 in ERA, bottom 6 in ERA. It was bad.
Oh, yeah,
they were one of the best run-producing lineups in ball, but they just could not pitch. They could not secure any outs. That is how I feel about the Athletics. I wanted to put them higher. I almost put them above Texas, just because of how much I think that lineup is just going to kill teams. But that pitching staff is going to kill them, right? We said in the last episode, they didn't have an offseason where they're not a team that needed to go crazy in the offseason, and obviously we still
they extended their guys and stuff. But that was the big thing.
Also, they just don't have pitching, right? If they would have added pitching, I probably would have put them ahead of the Rangers.
But here's the thing, though.
They needed to,
at the end of the day, the pitchers they could have added, a lot of them would just not make sense for the timeline.
Exactly.
And
that's what
so it's really just unfortunate. And obviously now you kind of got to rely on some prospects to kind of come up in the next couple of years. Obviously not necessarily this year. But it really gets interesting. I like Braden Nett. I think that Henry Baez could be solid, who they got in the, I think he was in the Mason Miller trade. But same with Nett, but it's they gotta sign a pretty. And I mean, obviously Jamie Arnold. I don't have to. That was self-explanatory though. Yeah. But that's the thing. They're probably going to need to add a relatively big name pitcher one of these years who's younger. But the issue is that's going to cost a lot of money.
It will. It's just that's the reality of it.
It's at the point where you're looking okay, we're taking the next year or two, see where we're at. And we have a lot of expendable assets. We're going to make a play for a big name pitcher on the trade market. And I think that's a real possibility, and I think that's likely. And honestly, moving to Vegas, I think this is going to be a hot destination. I think players are going to want to come to play for the Athletics.
Yeah, I think that... Yeah, I think that's just going to make a lot more sense for them, going the trade market route. I think that I eventually think that Vegas that like they're going to establish themselves as a free agent destination in the similar
Yeah.
vein that maybe not quite to the extent of like the Dodgers or Yankees, right? But like
No,
they're
I
gonna
mean
be
the thing with the Dodgers and Yankees is they have the legacy.
yeah,
Like I'm not saying
obviously
the
like
A's haven't
they're
been around forever because they have, but
they like they're not going to be there yet, but they're going to be one of the hotter destinations in the league at a certain point. I don't know when that's going to
oh
be. I think
yeah.
it's going to take a couple of years. I think it's going to take a little bit, but it's not going to take like
I
super
mean,
long.
it's going to be a couple years till they're in Vegas, and then it'll probably take another year or two after
Yeah,
that. So
that's
it's
fine. Like
just,
I think it'll take a
but
couple of years after they
but
complete the move.
I am saying though, like if I'm a free agent, I'm looking at this
I'm
team. If
looking
I'm
at
a
that and I'm
pitcher,
like,
for
ooh,
example,
like hold
if I'm a
on.
pitcher right now who's coming up on free agency, I'm thinking like this lineup's awesome.
Exactly. Like
I could get a good amount of money to be the number 1 or 2 starter, where I'd be the number 3 or 4 on any other team. Why not do it?
like
Let's
you are going
this
to
can be
have
some
some of
fun.
the best run support in the business.
Yeah,
Like that's nice. That's nice. Pitchers are going to like that. It's
yeah. The
just
Blue Jays are gonna have a nice test the first series of the season. That's for
fuck.
sure.
I'm not looking forward to having to pitch that lineup. Um, but yeah, that's that. I guess we've talked. Yeah, we've kind of talked about most of the teams in the division inherently. The Astros are like. I mean, we talked a little bit about the Astros. They're old, but like they do have just a good collection of just like guys. You know what I mean?
And the Astros just always seem to find a way. They didn't make the postseason last season, but it just seems like they're always there.
And to be
Two
fair,
years in a row missing doesn't seem like that's
they also
you
lost
know.
at a tiebreaker. Like
Yeah,
they
well,
won
I mean,
87
yeah,
games. They lost on a tiebreaker. It just kind of is what it is. It was just kind of a tough scene for them. But at the same time, it's like as much as you know what, they are older. They do have a solid collection of position players like Correa, Isaac Paredes, Altuve. I think Christian Walker is going to be, he's going to be better this year. Jeremy Pena is really, really good.
yeah,
Like they have guys in the rotation. Hunter Brown, obviously. Ime, I think is going to be good. I don't think that they're like. Obviously, they're not what they once were, right? This is a far cry from the
right.
teams that were.
Correa is a shell of himself for the most part. They don't have Bregman.
This is a far cry
Yeah,
from the team that was in the ALCS every single year, and a good amount of those times making it out of the ALCS to make the World Series.
yeah,
They're not that, but they're still a solid team. I expect them to be at least in contention for a postseason spot. I'd be surprised if they were a sub 500 team. I'd be shocked, to be honest with you. I won't be
yeah,
shocked if they're that in like a year or two, but this year I'd be a little surprised if
yeah.
that's what they become.
And that's another team who needs to kind of establish a direction. They're not in a situation where they need to do that right now, but that's something to start thinking about in the next 2-3 years about like, okay, what are we gonna do here?
Do we want to go for like a quick retool, or is it time to hit the reset?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it would. I'd say a retool, but teams aren't willing to go through rebuilds, especially teams like this. And sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. It's a good thing because they're always going to try to win, but bad in the sense of like they could really need one. They're still probably not going to want to do it and probably not do it.
On that note, let's go to. We'll quickly talk about the Mariners. This team, they're head and shoulders above everyone in the West. I can't lie. I don't think any of the other West teams come close.
No.
They have, still they're gonna have one of the better lineups in baseball. I think they're probably gonna get more value out of it this year than they were down the stretch last year. You add Brendan Donovan into this lineup, really good. You're getting a full season of Josh Naylor. You don't have Gino, but also Gino wasn't. Really,
I mean, that could be a good thing, honestly.
He was not giving you anything when he was actually there. He was giving you nothing. He's not he's not bad, but for what he was giving you, it's kind of addition by subtraction. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. You have some other guys that could have some solid years. I think Dominic Enzone could have a pretty solid year for them. In like more time.
I will say,
what their pitching staff
John
is too.
Schneider putting Brendan Little in saved Suarez's legacy.
I can't lie, kind of did. Can't lie, kind of did.
Well, no, because we're actually the World Baseball Classic moment. Never mind,
True.
but still,
True.
MLB legacy, I should say.
His MLB legacy. Their bullpen is much improved. Spire and Farrah back there in the bullpen is disgusting. Like that
Farrah is a super underrated player. You don't trade a guy who's considered a top catching prospect at one point for a relief pitcher unless you think that relief pitcher is very good or the
He's
catching prospect's not as good.
he's gonna be
People were
ridiculous back
quick
there.
to judge the trade. He's one of the best left-handed relievers in baseball.
Yeah, and I think now that he's gonna be on a contending team, I think a lot more people are gonna realize that. And I mean, we were talking about that when the trade went down. We were like, listen, this is the general reaction. But Fair is that guy.
Yeah.
Jose is that man. He is that good. People are gonna learn. Like strikeout rates are okay. He doesn't walk many guys. He gets a lot of ground balls, a lot of weak hit balls. Don't let the 4.4 ERA fool you. He is that guy.
And that's just another thing why ERA is just is just a little thing of what makes a pitcher a pitcher. How good you can't just look at ERA. Oh, that's high. He's automatically terrible. I mean, we were talking about that with Mason Montgomery. That ERA doesn't do justice, and that's why in baseball it's so good that we have access to all these tools and resources of analytics and stats to help us, gauge how good or bad somebody really is, past the surface level stuff.
Absolutely. And not to mention, even aside from those two, obviously you have Andres Munoz, who's one of the best relievers in baseball. Matt Brash is coming back from Tommy John as well. So you're going to have him for a full year, and hopefully he can, be Matt Brash again. There's a lot of things to like. Obviously, that rotation is ridiculous. Plus,
it is ridiculous. And the crazy thing is, it could get better.
It could.
I mean, George Kirby definitely.
He was up and
didn't
down
have,
last year. He was very up and down.
A year that he won. He first tell you that it wasn't where he wanted. Logan Gilbert is also a similar one where, he's so good, and he could be better too. There is so much untapped potential that this pitching staff has, and it's scary to think that we've seen how good it can be, and it's not even at its peak of what it could be.
Absolutely,
that's what's scary.
Absolutely, even Bryce Miller, hopefully he, he hasn't been pitching recently. He's been having an oblique issue, which I can't lie. Maybe that screws him up a little bit. He was throwing a bullpen, I think, last week. So I mean, hopefully, he'll return relatively early on, and then
obliques are just so tricky. I mean, that's an injury where it could look like a nothing thing, and you could be like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back in a week or two," and then it's just such a funny muscle. You can't really predict it.
Him throwing a bullpen on last week Tuesday. As far as I can tell, there hasn't been any updates since then. But he threw a bullpen last week. That is a positive sign, I think. And he was, battling.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah.
So it's not like it's not like he's gonna be out to June or July. I doubt it. He'll probably. Obviously, he's not gonna be ready for opening day. Obviously not.
But with how deep this rotation is and the resource they have, there's no need to rush them either.
With even that, but even
there's no need to rush them
eventually. And let's say
right now they're 5 starters, Hancock, and that's not bad. So.
I'm not even gonna say that Bryce Miller comes back and he's 2024 Bryce Miller. I'm not even gonna say that. Let's say he comes back and he's just a 3.9 ERA pitcher, a 4 ERA pitcher, right? That is so much better than what he was giving you last year, where he gave you 90 innings at a 5.7 ERA last year, right?
Yeah.
For Brian Wu, you have George Kirby, who you are expecting to be better. Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, is pretty reliable, right? That's pretty good 1, 2. That's a pretty good 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. That's nice. Right? And then whoever else, depending on what happens throughout the year. It's insane. That's the squad for the West, man. All right, let's go to the AL Central. Ethan, give me your picks. Give me your picks for the Central.
So I got the Tigers winning the division.
Yep.
It's hard with that. I think the Royals will be second. I think that the Guardians third, the Twins fourth, the White Sox fifth. The projections love the Guardians. I
don't see it. I can't. I understand they won the division. They made the play. I don't see the hype. I can't say
They're
I don't see
projected
it.
to win 88 and win the division on Fangraphs, but I look at the lineup and I see Jose Ramirez and friends. Obviously, that's not to say that others aren't good. I'm not saying that's not true. Like Manzardo is a good power hitter. Steven Kwan's good, but like, let's be real. I'm not shaken seeing Brian Rocchio or Chase DeLauder just yet. I think DeLauder could be
This
good, but like
it's very it's very like this lineup just
if
wasn't producing
I'm
last
seeing
year.
2020 if I'm seeing 2026 Reese Hoskins, I'm not shaking in my boots.
They were a bottom 3 lineup last year. They scored less runs than the Chicago White Sox. Their lineup
Which
is
should
not
tell you
good.
all you need to know.
And I hate to be that guy, but even if they have a really good pitching year, it's really hard for me to look at your lineup and say, I think that you're going to make it with a bottom tier offense.
Their pitching, their pitching is good. If you give the Athletics his pitching staff, they're probably coming second in the division relatively easy.
Yeah, easily. Like, they're giving the Mariners a run for their money. But, like, when you look at last year, a lot of the teams that are in, like, where the Guardians are in terms of runs scored, like, the Guardians are 28th, right? I'm going to take you 22nd down. Texas missed the playoffs. Minnesota missed the playoffs. Baltimore missed the playoffs. The LA Angels missed the playoffs. The Royals missed the playoffs. The White Sox missed the playoffs. The Guardians won the division. The Rockies missed the playoffs. The Pirates missed the playoffs. They are the only team in like the bottom 9 in runs scored that made the postseason. That I don't really see how that's going to hold for another year. And again,
yeah, and it's not like they did anything crazy to kind of, like in free agency that's like, okay, they improved. The only bat they added is Hoskins.
Who's like a slightly above league average bat. He's probably going to be like a DH. Like, that's not that valuable. Like, they didn't do anything to get better. They are... I don't think that they are close to the Tigers. I think genuinely... I understand that, whatever happened last year. I don't think they're anywhere close to as good as the Tigers right now. I do not think it's close. I think the Tigers are running circles around this team. The Tigers have...
I think the Royals are doing the same. Well, I don't know about circles, but
they're
the
not
Royals
running
are
circles,
also
but I would pick the Royals over them. I think that one, you can kind of have a discussion because, like, I don't think the Royals are that crazy. But, like, the Royals are, like, solid. They're a solid team. Like, I could see them in the running for a postseason spot. I don't think they'll make it.
I don't think the Royals are gonna make it.
I don't think they're gonna make it, but
solely
I think
because the East is so good.
I think they could be in the running. Like, I don't.
Yes,
I'm not even certain that they're going to be like an 85 win team. I'm not even certain they're going to be that good. But like they could, they could.
Reagan's taking that school jump.
I have a much easier time rationalizing the Royals winning like 86, 87 games.
Yes,
than the Guardians.
Than the Guardians. Yeah,
I have a much easier time coming to that conclusion. Cole Reagan's having.
There's a better I don't think it's gonna happen, but there's a better chance the Royals win the division than the Guardians.
Yes, I say easily. There's a lot more things I can count on there. I like their core position players a lot more. Listen, as much as I love J-Ram, you are not Bobby Witt Jr., and you do not have a Michael Garcia, and you do not have a Vinny Pasquantino. You don't have these guys.
You don't have a Jack Haglione.
Jack Haglione, who is, looking to have a better year this year, and I would expect to have a better year.
Another name who I haven't said yet, but I will soon. Because...
I wonder what that's for. Yeah, like I have a much easier time rationalizing that with the Royals. I don't remember if I said this already. Our standing prediction for this division are the exact same.
Yeah.
The Twins and White Sox, I don't really think we need to talk about that. Those are kind of I don't want to talk about the Twins or White Sox, man. They make me angry.
No.
They piss me off, man.
But look at the Twins though. They got Josh Bell.
Listen, don't sleep on Victor Caratini. Don't sleep.
That is true. They did get him too.
Do not sleep.
Don't please. I do have to add, on top of asking us about legal advice and medical advice, do not ask us what the Twins did this offseason.
Do not. Listen, I opened Twins offseason on my phone. My phone blew up. My phone combusted in flames. Like, I don't know what to do. The city of Minnesota is ruining me. You can't have shit.
Yeah, I searched it up.
You can't have shit in Minnesota. That's where you.
I searched it up, and Siri started calling me slurs.
Like it's bad. It's bad up there. Also, I just want to say, the Tigers, like, obviously they were good last year and they made the postseason. They're going to be so much scarier in a postseason series. Like, obviously you have Tarek Skubal.
1-2 Skubal
And Valdez.
right now.
Like, Tarek Skubal can damn near single-handedly win you a postseason game. He did that against Cleveland pretty much, and although the Mariners did win both the Skubal starts, which I still cannot fathom how they did that, he was insane in those starts.
Yeah.
It was not because they lit up Skubal. It was because the Tigers' offense just didn't do shit.
And it's also a testament to how good the pitching of the Mariners are, too.
That, too. That as well. I think that between lineup improvements of, like, McGonagall getting called up, which, to be honest, I did that before they announced he was going to be on the opening day roster, so it doesn't really impact my prediction that much. But, like, their rotation is going to be a lot better. That 1-2 is so much better. I think, obviously Casey Mize is still there. I think Justin Verlander would be like a 4 or 5. Is a really good addition.
He was incredible in the second half of last season.
Yeah, he had a big time bounce back. I'm not going to say he looked like prime Justin Verlander, because let's relax a little bit. But he was nice. He was nice in the second half. What does suck is that, there's no Reese Olson this year. Out for the season.
Yeah, that one is definitely tough. But, I mean, getting Framber, getting Flaherty, getting him from the Dodgers last year, they're built to be able to, withstand an injury from one of their guys in the rotation that's not Skubal or Valdez.
Yeah.
If one of those guys go down, they have a next man up that can kind of take the reins. So they have that good. But you take away, Skubal or Valdez, you take away any team's ace or number 2, then obviously things look bad. But if
I go into a postseason series right now with this team, I feel really good about obviously Skubal starting game 1. There is probably, you can't ask for anything better than that.
No.
Valdez 2. What are you doing? Casey Mize 3. You want to say Verlander?
Like you were saying before, the only guy in baseball you'd even consider taking over Skubal in a 1-game elimination, it's Ski.
Yeah. So yeah, you'd say like Skubal game 1, Valdez 2, probably what he's gonna say, Casey Mize game 3, and Verlander game 4, probably something like that. If a postseason series for the Tigers started right now, I feel pretty good about that. Like, I can't lie, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
And again, like, Jack Flaherty could have a better year this year. I don't think he's gonna be that great, but he was pitching really good at the start of the year, and then it just kind of fell off a little bit. I do expect some level of improvement over what he did in the second half. I think that there's still something in there. I like the Tigers for the Central. So, is there anything else you want to say on the Central, or we want to wrap up our divisions?
We can wrap it up.
All right. Now, I want to say the AL East was one of the toughest divisions for me. This is the best division of baseball. It is not close. It is not remotely close. There are potentially 4 teams in this division that could make the postseason. Ethan, I don't know if you saw the latest MLB Power Rankings. There were 4 of these teams in the top 10. You probably did, but for anyone who hasn't, there were 4 AL East teams in the top 10 of baseball's or MLB's Power Rankings. That is ridiculous. Anyways, I just want to get that out of the way. Just to say, like, the gaps between, like, 1 and 4 are not that big. Like, they're not as big as it sounds. So with that, I'm going to give my predictions. Number 5, I have the Tampa Bay Rays. This is the one I feel pretty confident. Yeah. They're quite below the rest of the teams. Number 4, I have the Baltimore Orioles. Number 3, I have the New York Yankees. Number 2, I have the Boston Red Sox. And number 1, I have the Toronto Blue Jays. Ethan, what do you got?
have the Red Sox over the Yankees?
I did, but like very marginally. Because I think...
I like it.
I
like that.
You know how I was talking last episode? I love the Red Sox offseason. I also think that there's... Like, when I say, like, 2 and 3, this is, like, separated by... Honestly, this could be separated by, like, a game. Like, I would not be shocked if any of this was like flipped in any scenario. Like I said, this is very close all around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the Red Sox offseason. I think the Yankees have some question marks. And that's what I was saying. This is the best division of baseball. Like,
no, that's valid, yeah.
Like, I think 3 out of 4 of these teams are winning the AL Central. Probably, honestly, you can make a debate. 3 out of 4 are probably winning the NL East. 3 out of 4 are probably winning the NL Central. Like, there's 3 other divisions where I think 3 teams in this division are winning those divisions pretty confidently, pretty comfortably. Anyways, Ethan, tell me what you got for this division. What'd you pick?
Yeah, so I got Rays 5, Orioles 4, Sox 3, Yankees 2, and my Toronto Blue Jays number 1.
Number 1.
Is that a biased pick? It might be. Are they still damn good?
They're really
they
good
are,
still.
So.
There's this really weird narrative that 2025 was an outlier season for the Toronto Blue Jays, and I do struggle to understand where this logic comes from, because, yeah, you can say, like, it was a big jump from 24, obviously, but this is a team that has made the postseason in, was it 4 out of the last 6 seasons? They have won 89 or more games in, I believe, 4 out of the past 5. Is that correct? Am I getting those correct? It's something like that. The numbers might be slightly off, but I believe that's what it is. Maybe it's like 88. I don't remember, but it's something like that. And people are trying to tell me that the 74 win season in there is more indicative of who the team actually is, as opposed to the other 5, 6, or the other 4 or 5 seasons where they were experiencing success. That doesn't make sense to me. I am not saying that the Toronto Blue Jays are head and shoulders above of every other team in this division and the league and whatever. Like I said, the AL East is really close. The AL East is really good. The Boston Red Sox are really good. The New York Yankees are really good. The Baltimore Orioles are really good. But the Toronto Blue Jays are also really good. They have a really good lineup. They have, when it's fully healthy, it's going to be a really good rotation. And they have a pretty nice bullpen right now. I can't lie. I really like that bullpen.
Here's something that's crazy. There are 4 teams according to Fangraphs who have a playoff chance, but like a percentage of making the playoffs, over 50. 4 teams with a chance to win the division, over 16. 3 over 20. Which says it's anyone's game, really.
Mm-hmm. Like that's
a gauntlet.
That's the thing that was made predicting this division really hard. Is like, these 4 teams are so good. They are really good, right? I think Baltimore, I feel comfortable that they are the worst out of the 4. But they could still very well be a postseason team. My potential hot take for the year is that the AL East has 4 playoff teams. 4 AL East teams make the postseason. That's my take for the season.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
I don't know if that's like a hot take or whatever it is, but that's
like, that's exactly what I was saying in regards to like why the Royals probably might not be a wild card team. It's not because I don't think they're good enough to,
it's because up
in a playoff spot. It's just because insane. It's just because you have 3 teams in the AL East who'd be first in the other 2 divisions possibly. I mean, the Mariners are obviously very good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, why can't a team like the Blue Jays or Red Sox or Yankees come first in that division? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
the fact that there's even a chance is just crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Red Sox won the division. I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees won the division. I'd be a little shocked if the Orioles won the division because, I just think the other 3 are better. But, like, it wouldn't be, like, that crazy because the Orioles are that good. Like, all 4 of these teams are that good where they could all finish first in the division, and I wouldn't be that shocked. So,
yeah,
just to put it there, when I say, I pick the Red Sox over the Yankees, Yankees over the Orioles, Jays over whatever, the gaps aren't that big. Like, the gap in the AL Central, I think, is quite big between 1 and 2. That is a bigger gap between 1 and 4 in the AL East. Right? While we're on it. We talked a lot about the Blue Jays. I think that a lot of these teams deserve their own discussion. I think we can go down the list. You want to talk about the Red Sox or the Yankees?
I mean, we could talk about the Yankees.
Talk about the Yankees. So,
Yeah,
like I said, I have them 3. That's just because there are question marks that I have. Number 1 is how repeatable is the 2025 offense? And I say that in like, is Trent Grisham going to have another 30 home run season? Is Stanton going to be healthy? And if he is he going to put up production similar to what he did last year? Those kinds of things, right? Now, granted, I think Ben Rice is going to be really good. There's a certain player on this team that I have having a better year than he did last year. But, like, there's question marks. There's question marks in the rotation. Clark Schmidt is eventually going to come back. I think he's going to come back probably, sometime mid-season? Like June, July? Something like that. What is he going to look like when he comes back? What is Garrett Cole going to look like when he comes back? He's looked good in his bullpens. He looked okay in the spring. But when he comes back in, like, May, how is he actually going to look? How is Luis Gil going to be? Because he was a little iffy when he came back last year. Carlos Rodon is not going to be out that long. Like, I have a lot of confidence in him. I don't really think that's that big of a question mark. But, like, the rotation, there's question marks there. The bullpen, there are question marks because they didn't do anything to improve it. And it kind of was awful at near the tail end of the year. And they didn't really do anything to improve it. In fact, they let 2 of their better relievers walk. And I understand that, like, Devin Williams' results weren't as much there, but still kind of a thing. I feel more confident in the Red Sox because there's a lot more... I just feel safer with the Red Sox. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I feel
think
a lot safer with that rotation. Crochet, Suarez, Gray, Brian Bale's like your 4. Like, that's ridiculous. I don't think that their lineup is going to be better, but there isn't as many question marks. And the Red Sox also have one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. Like, Chapman and Whitlock at the back end is disgusting. They are going to have one of the best staffs in ball, plus a lineup that's going to be around top 10 or so, I'd say. Probably somewhere between, you want to say 10, 12? Does that make sense? I think that's a fair projection for them as they're constructed right now. I feel a lot safer with that than what the Yankees could be. I think the Yankees ceiling is higher, but I just feel safer with the Red Sox. I think there's a lot more that could go south with the Yankees as opposed to the Red Sox. So
yeah,
that's why I have the Red Sox over the Yankees. You guys know how I was talking up their offseason last episode. I said they've effectively built like a super rotation. Had one of the best off seasons of ball, one of my favorite off seasons in the whole league. Unfortunately, they're in my division,
yeah.
so I had to experience that now,
exactly.
which sucks. But you know, it is what it is. Ethan, what do you think on the difference between like these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, I do like the lineup a lot more. It's the same thing that I've said 500 times on the podcast. Is that like the Red Sox still haven't addressed the elephant in the room of the lack of bat there of Devers. They did get Bregman. He's now gone. I wanted them to get Alonso to fill the void. They did not. They brought in Durbin, who's good. They brought in Contreras, who's good. I do really like this lineup. I think this is a very good lineup. I think they're defensively very good. I think offensively they're very good, and obviously the pitching is good. The Yankees' offense just has more power. And when you're struggling in a game and you can't really get many hits, a couple hits like isn't going to do you much. The Yankees are more, home run hitters. They are, they're going to win games because they can outslug their opponent.
It's going to do
and
more
I think
than like
that's
a pair
kind
of 2-out singles.
Exactly. And I think that's kind of where the discrepancy comes. And I think that's kind of where I think the Yankees have the edge. Obviously, it's dependent on what the Yankees pitchers do. Is Garrett Cole going to be the same when he comes back? Is Schlittler going to do what he, did in the limited time that he pitched? Is Weathers going to be this breakout player that everyone's predicting he'll be? Is, what I mean? Fried is the only guy in that rotation where I look at and I comfortably think, like, yeah, he'll replicate what he did.
Fried and Rodon,
those
are the two for me.
Rodon too, yes. But, I mean, same thing with Rodon about injury. It's kind of like, he's coming off surgery too. Like, how is he gonna
Mm-hmm.
bounce back? And I'm pretty sure Clark Schmidt's out for the year, so they don't have that. Luis
Is he
Heal's
out for the
been.
year? I thought he was until like July or August.
Oh, I
I
don't
mean,
know. I was just kind of.
I don't know. Regardless,
I
he's
mean,
missing a good chunk of time, regardless of however you slice it.
yeah. Um, it would be like late.
Yeah.
And Luis Heal's been struggling immensely, and there's a chance he doesn't. I don't think he's making the team or whatever. Or so it's just kind of like question marks on the pitching side of
Oh,
things.
they
I
optioned
like
him
their lineup
today.
more though. Yeah,
I did not see that before we got on. They optioned him 6 hours
yeah,
ago.
yeah. I
Did
knew there
not
was
see
like a
that.
lot of talk.
Never mind. I take back the Luis Heel stuff. He gone.
Yeah,
Even so, it doesn't really change the principle of, I think, what the thing about like the stuff about what the Yankees is. Like, obviously they're really good. Like, I am quite literally saying I think they're going to be a postseason team. But there's a lot more stuff with the Yankees, more than like the Red Sox or Blue Jays or whatever, where I'm like, okay, well, what about this and what about this? You know,
yeah.
I don't have as many of those if, ands, or buts with the Red Sox or with Toronto or even Baltimore. But also, I just don't think Baltimore is as good as New York. I just, yeah, like they very easily could win the division. Like I won't like, again, let's make that very clear. They could once again be the best lineup in baseball. They could have a top 10 rotation. Their bullpen, I don't really know how it's going to play. I'm not in love with it, but it could produce above what I expect. You know what I mean? They still have guys there.
Yeah.
So who knows? But there's stuff that's iffy there. We'll talk about Baltimore really quick, and then we'll go on to our awards and stuff. Baltimore, interesting offseason. They had a busy one. They had one of the busier offseasons in the league. The big thing is I don't love the rotation. I think it can be solid enough. I do expect better years from some of their guys. As crazy as this is to say about Gunnar Henderson, I expect him to have a better year than he did in 2025.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because he was a 5-win player last year, and he was insane. But I think
That's the thing. I think he could really get back to where he was, the year prior.
I think that just says I think that just speaks to how good he is. Like he's
Yes,
just that
exactly. And that's why when we were talking about his contracts, we didn't kill Command top end of the league money
good. Absolutely.
because he is a top end player in the
And
league.
to go along with something like that, like they, obviously they underperformed last year. They were 20th in WRC plus. In run scored, they were 24th. It wasn't great.
All right.
But they added to their lineup in a pretty solid way. Like they added Pete Alonso, they brought in Taylor Ward. Like these are some nice additions. Like we like to see stuff like this. If you can, you get production out of those guys, those feel pretty safe that you're going to get some solid production out of. I think Pete Alonso is like such a good addition for this lineup. I think if Westberg comes back by like the end of April, I think you're gonna really like what he gives you. Obviously, you kind of know what you're getting with Gunnar. If this is the year where we finally get the Jackson Holiday breakout whenever he comes back from his hand injury, it could be cinema in Baltimore.
Yeah.
It could be absolute cinema. So
the bullpen does worry me though for them.
It's not great. That's the thing that does worry me. That's why I have them fourth, and I do kind of comfortable. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention bounce back from Tyler O'Neill. I forgot to mention him.
Ooh, yeah.
That's one. That's not my bounce back guy. I didn't think of him, but that's a guy who you would expect to have a better year.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, the pitching is a little bit suspect. All around, it's a little bit sus. Like, I can't lie. But I think that they should be in a okay enough spot to start the year. Again, I'm not in love with their rotation, but, like,
yeah,
you're going to have Rogers. You're going to start the year. Bradish is going to be in the rotation to start the year. Maybe you get... beyond that, what's it going to be? It's going to be like Rogers, Bradish. Is Eflin going to be in the rotation to start the year, or I kind of hope
I would assume so. Yes.
I kind of hope not for them, to be honest. Like Bassett, like it's not a bad rotation, but it's not like great. Obviously, the idea for them is probably to improve it, get a middle, get like a 2 or 3, maybe at the deadline, whatever that ends up being. You're probably running to start the year like Rogers, Bradish, Bassett, Boz, Eflin, something like that, unless I'm blanking. But yeah, their bullpen does worry me. I do like the addition of Ryan Helsley, and I do. I mean, I guess you're hoping for a bounce back from Yenny or Cano. Like that's got to be the hope, is that he can go back to being one of the top relievers in baseball, as opposed to being a guy where mid-season you're talking about, do we send this guy down to the minors? And I mean, to be fair, I think Cano can have a bounce back year. Like, he doesn't really allow like crazy hard contact, but he wasn't missing bats like he had been. Like, he went from a 68th percentile whiff rate in 24 to 34 and 25. That's a big back end of the bullpen arm that you lost last year, and you're kind of hoping you can get it back. Their bullpen is sus. Their bullpen is very suspect. Even with an addition like Andrew Kittredge, who I think can be solid, it's suspect. It's very suspect.
No, 100%, 100%. That's kind of where...
This is a team that, like, mid-season, whoever ends up being available by then, you're going to see, assuming that they're in, like, postseason contention, which I assume they'll be good, this is a team that you're going to see, they're rumored for this reliever and that reliever and whoever else, right? This is a team you're going to see in those runnings. So, but they're probably the most, they're the most flawed team out of the four, I'd say. Out of these four, they're the most flawed, I think.
Yeah.
So that's why I have them fourth, but I still got 4 playoff teams in this division. I expect these things.
I mean,
it's crazy.
For sure.
Is there anything else you want to say on the East or any of the other teams in the divisions?
No.
Or do you want to move on to awards?
That scared me. I'm the fantasy sound from the draft. That
you loaded? Oh my god! Yeah, you got your draft coming.
Out of me. Yeah, I mean it did.
Yeah. So we're gonna be doing our preseason awards. We're not doing like all the way down, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, all that, Manager of the Year.
We're also not doing like our top 10. Like we're filling out an entire ballot.
No, we're not doing out ballots. We like our award shows, but this is just making our predictions.
Yeah, for our end of the season, we'll do an actual ballot.
Yeah, we'll do actual ballots when that time comes, but we're not doing that now. We are going to be giving our picks in both the AL and the NL for MVP, Cy Young, and Rookie of the Year. I don't remember what you said you did, Ethan, but I had a really hard time picking against any of the big four for MVP and Cy Young. So what I did was I gave my picks, and spoiler alert, it is the big four. But I also gave like secondary picks. Like, you know what? Have a look at this guy for MVP. Have a look at this guy for Cy Young. Let's start.
Yeah, like I have the pick, which is like, that's probably what's gonna happen, and then the pick where it's like, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm all in. This is what I'm doing.
We'll start in the AL. We started in the NL for the divisions. We'll start in the AL. AL MVP, Aaron Judge. That's the one that I think is going to happen. He's just that good. But the guy who I think can give him a run for his money, I'm interested to see who your pick is. Bobby Witt Jr. That's my guy. I think that Bobby Witt Jr. is...
I got Cal Raleigh at 7th.
Sorry?
I got Cal Raleigh in 7th in a home run and strikeout for pitcher only league.
Interesting. You got him. I'm surprised he fell that far.
Judge went first, Ohtani second, Schwarber third, Soto fourth, Skeens fifth, Bobby Witt Jr. 6th. Interesting.
All right, in a home run and strikeout league for.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Anyways, I really like Bobby Witt Jr. I think that I wouldn't say he's underrated, because when you look at like any player ranking, he's like consistently like near the top of the list, like right behind Ohtani and Judge. But I think that like I don't feel he's underrated, but I feel like he's slept on. Does that make sense? Like I feel like we understand that he's one of the best players in baseball. We understand he's the best shortstop by a pretty wide margin. Like nobody else is really close to him. But I don't think that a lot of people realize that this is like an all-time infield talent. Like, this is the best infielder since
Yeah.
Prime A-Rod. He has already had a season that accumulated more WAR than any A-Rod season ever. Like,
Yeah.
he is that good. This
Yeah.
is a guy who just had an 8-win season, and we're talking about down year. Like, this is how good he is. I think that if Bobby Witt Jr. is, like, let's say, like, a 140 WRC plus hitter, hits close to 40 home, or not 40, hits close to 30 home runs, which he has done twice before, hits over 300, obviously he's going to play elite defense at shortstop, that in most years is, like, locking up an MVP.
Yeah.
The only thing is he has fucking Aaron Judge in his league, and Aaron Judge is literally having the best peak for a right-handed hitter ever.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only problem. You just happen to be playing with the greatest right-handed hitter of all time. Like, that just kind of sucks, because honestly, if it was not for Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt would have an MVP. That's the only thing that's keeping him from an MVP right now.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%.
that's my not Judge pick for AL MVP. So I'm interested to see who's your guy.
Yeah. So obviously Judge is my pick, which is like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen. This may be biased, but like after watching what Vlad did in the playoffs,
talk to me.
After watching what he did in the playoffs, after what he did in the World Baseball Classic, this guy's fucking elite. Like, anyone who says he's not a superstar doesn't know the sport and should stop talking about it. He is absolutely unbelievable. He is showing why he was a generational hitting prospect, and I think this is the year he puts it together, similarly to 2021. And not to say that Judge doesn't have an insane year, but this could be the year he takes the MVP. Obviously, Judge not being... It was Ohtani then, but I'm more so saying Judge now, because Ohtani, obviously not.
Yeah. And, 2021, Judge wasn't... He wasn't Judge. You know what I mean? He was really good, but he wasn't this version of Aaron Judge. And, like, I feel like a lot of people will just look at Vladdy's raw numbers. They'll say, oh, 840 OPS. Like, he's, overrated. He's whatever. He's this, he's that. Number one, just based on his 2025, those who are tapped in and no ball will remember that Vlad was a top 10 hitter in baseball before he hurt his hamstring in, like, September, and then he was kind of playing through it for, like, the last month of the season or whatever it was. And even still, he was, like, a 13th best hitter in baseball. He is consistently near the top of almost every batted ball metric. 90th percentile hard hit rate, 92nd percentile expected slugging, 88th percentile average exit velocity, and obviously he reached a whole new level in the postseason and in the WBC. The main difference between the postseason and WBC and the regular season was he was hitting so many more balls in the air.
Yeah.
This kind of used to be a thing with him where, he wasn't pulling the ball as much. And I admit, like, he doesn't pull the ball in the air a lot. That's just not his game, really. He does use the whole field. But when he hits the ball in the air, obviously, as most power hitters do, your results are just going to be better.
And especially seeing bat speed and what he's able to do, it's just very talented when he's holding a bat. I mean... He put the whole league on notice in that postseason run. I mean, I was looking at the numbers, and there were articles written that very well could have been the greatest postseason from a player.
It is one of the single greatest individual postseason runs of all time.
It sucks it couldn't get it done.
I am not one of the people who is going to look at someone in the playoffs and say, okay, well, they're really this or they're really that. You need to look at, what's under the hood, right? And
what's under the hood
even
is
before
nothing
looking at
but
Vlad under the hood, you can tell he's really fucking good and he's insane.
Yeah.
But
doing it on the big stage against some of the best pitchers in baseball is just, it's just a testament to how good of a hitter he is.
Yeah, and, like, again, it's not just that he did this, it's what he was doing and how he did it. It's, there's a lot more line drives. He takes so many more balls in the air. It's more damage, right? And I feel like
Yeah.
that is one of the things I like to say, that I think George Springer is the face of why the Toronto Blue Jays were better in 2025 as opposed to like 24 and
Yeah.
23. Like, I think he personifies a lot of the changes. Vlad from the regular season to the postseason, not that he wasn't good in the regular season. Again, he was a top 15 hitter in baseball in the regular season last year.
Yeah.
But it's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of things that you look at and you're like, all right, that makes sense. That's why.
Yeah.
So, there are guys I would pick over Vlad for it, but you know what? Respects. And I don't think it's far fetched to say that there's an MVP in Vlad's future at some point. Right? Like,
Yeah.
the guy is only 27. He's one of the best hitters in baseball. Like, yeah, sure, he's a first baseman. We've seen first baseman win MVP. Like, Goldschmidt wasn't that long ago. Miguel Cabrera,
Jose Abreu. Granted, it was a shortened season, but
yeah, Abreu and Freeman that year. Votto, like, we've seen it.
yeah.
Like, we see it. Like, it's not as rare as you think. Anyways, Ethan, give me your Cy Young for the AL.
So obviously, Scooble is the guy where it's like, yeah, probably gonna win. Look! Don't shoot me here. I really don't like to be biased, but this is somebody who I absolutely loved before he was a J, and I thought was going to bounce back. It's Dylan Cease. High strikeout, high swing and miss guy. He added a changeup to his repertoire that looks really good. That's a completely modified from what he threw prior. And the more I look at, what he's able to do, the more I realize, why can't he put it together? I mean, this is the same place where a guy like Robbie Ray figured it out and was able to win a Cy Young. Why can't Cease kind of take that jump, right? That's kind of my thought process.
Yeah, and like, again, we said it last episode, we said it before. Anyone who's been listening to the pod, you guys understand, we have been on the Dylan Cease train pretty much since we started the podcast, and like before that, we were talking about how good he is at the trade deadline, where there was rumors of him. The Red Sox are interested in him, and you remember, Ethan, we were talking about, like, don't let that 4 ERA fool you, or 4.5, whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
Like, don't let it fool you. Like, he's that good. We were saying that when there was Dylan Cease plus for Jarren Duran trade talks. We were saying it then. Nothing has really changed. That's just kind of what it is.
Yeah.
So, obviously, my main pick for AL Cy Young, it was Tarek Skubal. My pick that I really like, I actually really think that he can, like, legitimately either way can give him a run for his money. Hunter Brown. I like Hunter Brown.
Yeah, I like Hunter Brown a lot too, and that's a guy who I was definitely considering to be, a Cy Young candidate. I definitely think he is, one of the better pitchers in baseball, not just the American League. So I wouldn't be shocked to see his name up there in people's ballots by the end of the year.
One of the best starters in all of baseball. He does not allow any hard contact, 97th percentile in both average exit velocity and hard hit rate. He also doesn't allow much contact. He has an 85th percentile strikeout rate, 71st percentile whiff rate, is really good. A lot of starters who have this kind of profile, they kind of end up having high walk rates, but he just doesn't. He has a kind of mid-tier walk rate, admittedly, but he's still just able to make it work. He obviously was one of the best pitchers in baseball last season, had an ERA just over 2.4. In all of baseball last year, not even just limiting it to the American League, he was 10th in strikeouts per 9. He was good in every aspect. He was 12th. He had the 12th best home runs per 9 amongst all starters last year. If I limit it to the AL, that mark is even better. He was 5th in home runs per 9 in the AL last year. Ks per 9, he was 4th. He is one of the best starters in the AL, also just all of baseball. Obviously, the AL Cy Young field, even like the guys right behind Tarek Skubal, like Garrett Crochet, I almost put Garrett Crochet, but I didn't want to be boring and just put the runner up. Brian Boo's going to be up there. Like, DeGrom is still that guy. Another guy I considered was Joe Ryan, but I just think that some of these guys are better. It's that simple. The AL Cy Young field is going to be pretty good. I actually think that this is one of the more interesting award fields in the sport. But that's my guy. Yeah. That's the case I'm pleading. I'm pleading Hunter Brown today.
I like it. No, I really do.
And for Rookie of the Year, I'll go first. I have a feeling we have the same guy. Give me Kazuma Okamoto for AL Rookie of the Year.
All right, I like it.
He obviously there are some. Actually, you know what? No, sorry. I want to hear your pick.
Oh, well, I went off the board.
Ooh.
Carter Jensen.
Ooh, I like it. I actually kind of like it.
I do think Savage is like my guy of like the favorites who I think just because if Savage could do any, like obviously it's not, expected to do what we saw from him down the stretch in the whole season. But if he does anything similar to just, you know what I mean, in that sense, I think that I think that, any like a guy who's proven to be a very good to elite starting pitcher would get votes over someone who's just a good position player, right? That's kind of my thought process on why I like Savage more than Okamoto. Not that I don't think Okamoto is a guy who's good enough. It's more so just the fact that I think he'll be more, it's a more valued.
The voters are gonna like it more. Is where you're getting.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
As for Carter Jensen, I mean, I loved what I saw from him in the little bit that we saw in the majors. Obviously, a very small sample size. But the thing is, one stat I saw that I loved is that among players who had at least 50 plate appearances, again, it's not a lot. His barrel rate was the highest. And that's 10% of what, the superstars take. But it's just to show that in the short time he had, he wasn't fluking base hits, like flubbing singles, getting low exit velo hits.
It wasn't nonsense.
He was crushing the ball.
It wasn't BS.
His bat speed, 74.9 miles an hour. That's up there with some of the better hitters in baseball.
That is ridiculous.
You can't teach that. That is something that I think will translate well. Playing catcher, I think, helps in terms of value because, being somebody who plays the catcher position adds value on top of it, which is why you saw a lot of people campaigning for Kyle Raleigh to win MVP. So I think that if Carter Jensen is just serviceable defensively, his WAR would be high, and he'll have the hitting stats for sure.
Especially someone who grades out okay on defense. He's like a 50 grade field, which is average by those reports, but that's solid. That's not bad. That's perfectly average. Sure. If you're an average catcher with an above average bat, you got it. Like you got it. Yeah. So, I mean, I like the pick. The AL rookie field. The rookie fields are. I feel like they're so much more fun and interesting this year than they have been in like a long time for both leagues.
Because it's not like there's just like one or two guys where it's like, yeah, they're gonna win it. It's like there's like 5 or 6 guys you could pick from each league that, would have a chance.
Like they're so much more. They're just so much better than I feel like they were last year, or honestly, like any time, like in years. I feel like this is the best crop of rookies that we've seen in years. I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, Savage. The only thing that scares me about Trey Savage is going to be the volume. Because obviously he still needs to ramp up, and last year was the most innings that he's like pitched like ever. So he might start out at like 3-4 innings starts. And I don't know if he'd have the volume for the voters to like him enough. Obviously, like McGonagall's probably going to be somewhere in that running. Like he's just that good too. Like he is literally the number 2 prospect in all of baseball. He's a 70 hit tool. I expect that he's going to be good pretty quickly. He has a 60 grade power tool as well. We'll see how quickly everything comes, but like he's going to be nice.
Yeah.
He's going to be nice too, and he's going to be in the running. I like Okamoto because he feels... I obviously his ceiling is not as high as I think any of these players are. Like I think McGonagall, Jensen, Savage, they all have higher ceilings. Well, I guess Savage is a weird one to compare because he's a pitcher, but Okamoto feels like the most polished player. I think he's going to have the easiest adjustment.
Yeah.
like there is going to be an adjustment period for him because obviously he's coming from overseas. But I think that there is going to be the like not as much of an adjustment period as like a Trey Savage or McGonagall or whoever else. I feel like Okamoto's pretty polished as a player. I don't think his ceiling is as high as some of the other guys, but I feel like he's a lot more. It's like the Murakami thing. Like Murakami's ceiling is higher, but Okamoto is like a more complete player right now. He's more developed. It feels like.
No, I agree with that for
And
sure.
I feel
I
like
do.
that comparison holds as well with a lot of the rookies. Like with a lot of the rookies coming up from the minors. Like we say all the time, and now this could also be the case for Okamoto. Like he might not hit the ground running, but I feel like he's a pretty safe. Like he can be like a 2.5, maybe 3-win player. If he's a 3-win player, like that's a really good everyday player in a lineup that is one of the better lineups in baseball. That is a team that should be contending in the American League, debatably the best team in the AL. I like it. I like it from a talent standpoint. I like it from like a voter recognition standpoint.
Yeah.
But it's a good field. Like there's like 5 guys I wouldn't be shocked if they win. Like
100%. Yeah. Like we're in a good spot, as baseball fans.
We're eating good right now. We're eating
see
good.
the new young talent that we can get. It is. We're in a great spot in that aspect of things, which is
right
awesome.
I can't lie. We're eating pretty nice.
Yes, 100%.
Anyways, start us off over in the NL. Who's your NL MVP pick?
So this one I have Acuna. I have been very vocal about how I think Acuna is going to have a huge year. Said it on the last episode how I think he'll have. I think it was a 6.5 WAR minimum F4.
You did say that.
I am really in on him this year. I love Acuna, one of the most fun players in baseball, especially when he's healthy. And that's the big thing. If he stays healthy, there's no doubt in my mind he's going to put up the stats that'll be able to win MVP.
Yeah, I mean, he was incredible after he came back from his injury.
Yeah.
He had like a 930 OPS, something like that. Like, he was insane.
Yeah.
And, I mean, especially if the Braves are good, like, he has all the tools to do it again. Like, he has the speed, he has the power, his contact, he has everything.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I have Ohtani as, like, my actual pick. Just like again, I said like it feels insane to pick against any of the big 4. My other pick, if it's not Ohtani, I think this is finally the Juan Soto year. I think it's finally the Juan Soto year. Juan Soto is one of baseball's generational hitting talents. If you're one of those people who likes the term pure hitter, I think that he has a pretty good case that he's the best pure hitter in baseball. If you are someone who likes that kind of terminology and whatnot. He does everything that you want him to do. He gets on base, he hits for power. He hit 43 home runs last year, which is a career high. He actually, now one thing, he could be falling off. He had a career low in OBP last year of a whopping 396, which is crazy.
Wow, he's so bad.
It's crazy to say out loud. It's crazy to say out loud.
Like that's the thing. Everyone was like, "Oh, down year for Soto, down year for Soto." But if that's a down year, that is 99. That is 99.9% of every player who's ever played in the majors best season.
Some of the best players of all time do not have a career OBP that good, and that is just the worst that he's put up. If you're saying that that's a down year for Soto, you're a court jester. You're a court jester.
Like by definition, technically it is, but. But in terms of but the thing is, if that's your down year,
this
then
is just Juan Soto being generational. Like this is just all it is.
Yeah. 100%.
Like this is just what it is. Like this is pretty in line with his career averages. Like 156 WRC plus to 158 career. Sure, it's like 2 points lower. This is pretty in line for what he's been doing his entire career. He hits the ball hard. He has some of the best batted ball numbers in the business. 98th percentile average exit velocity, 97th percentile barrel rate, 97th percentile hard hit rate. He is one of the best hitters in baseball. I don't even need to talk about like pulling the ball and whatnot. He doesn't really do that, but he's so good that he doesn't like it doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
he is the sixth best. Like his barrel rate is the sixth best in the league. His hard hit rate is ninth in the league. Sorry, his barrel rate's eighth. His barrels per plate appearance percentage is eighth or sixth or whatever I said. He's just so good. Like he is. If you could like build a hitter in the lab, you're probably coming out with Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Like he's so good. I think that another like it might sound crazy to see, but I feel like there's another level that he can reach. Like I can feel it in my veins. I can feel it in my bones. There's another level he can reach in there, where he's like comfortably over a 1,000 OPS, 40 to 45 home runs, it's like a 450 OBP. Like he's just that good. He's just that good, man. He's so good. No, I'm looking at this thing. He doesn't feel real. Like that's how good he is. This guy does not feel real.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my Juan Soto glaze out the way. What do you got for this one, Ethan? Or did you say? Oh, you said Acuna. Never mind. You went first.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, I'll do Cy Young first. Obviously, I have Paul Skeens as my main pick because again, I feel really weird betting against any of the big four. But my next guy, again, this is another guy who I think could actually really give Skeens a run for his money. Give me Christopher Sanchez.
I like it. I love it. Not who I had, but I love it.
He is so insane. He obviously had a pretty good showing at the WBC, but even aside from that, he was not very far off from winning Cy Young last year. And I actually do think that even though I did pick Skeens like to actually win, I think that there's a pretty good chance that Sanchez can come out on top. He does everything that you want from a pitcher. He does not allow hard contact, right? 96th percentile ground ball rate, 87th percentile barrel rate. He doesn't walk guys. 89th percentile walk rate as a starter, 77th percentile strikeout rate, 85th percentile whiff rate, 84th percentile chase rate. He does everything that you want a starter to do. He misses bats. He doesn't walk guys. He doesn't allow hard contact, and everything is hit on the ground. Incredible.
Yeah.
He is one of the best pitchers in baseball, and I have
for good reason.
I have nothing short of extremely high expectations this year. Like he's one of the best in the league, and he's gonna be incredible this year. And I cannot wait to watch him pitch again.
Yeah.
Let's hear your pick.
So Cy Young, obviously. I mean, obviously, Skeens is like the number one. I will say before I say my guy, one person who I thought could legitimately win it over Skeens just because I'm just high on this guy, but he's hurt, is Hunter Green. I thought there was a chance. If he was healthy, he could have, why not? I love what we've seen from him. He is, he was a top prospect for a reason. Obviously, making big jumps the past 2 years. And, he gets a lot of swing and miss, strikes out a lot of guys, and doesn't have a command issue that a lot of guys who have, the skill set he has. He took a big jump in limiting how many walks he issues. But I think, other than Skeens, I think a guy that could have a very good year is somebody who is also on a new team, just like my AL pick, and that's Freddie Peralta.
Okay, I like that.
Freddie Peralta had an unbelievable year last season, and that's another reason why it made the Mets, say, you know what, this is a guy we need. We're not getting Skubal, we're not getting whoever. This is the guy that we're targeting. We're not getting a free agent, big name. We're trading for our guy. He's him. Perennial 200 plus strikeout guy. Obviously, his swing and miss stuff is good. He does have a bit more command issues than Hunter Green does, obviously, but Like that, justifying that. But the one thing he does way better is the amount of hard hits he gives up. It's way less than Hunter Green's. Hunter Green is a tremendous pitcher, but unfortunately, he does get hit hard. Freddie Peralta is the opposite of that. He does not get hit hard. He sacrifices a bit of the, command for the ability to, limit the barrels. So, and then just how, in general, how hard the balls are hit. So I like him. I could see another big year coming from him, especially in a new place. I think it could be good for him.
I like Freddie. I like the Freddie Peralta pick. I do want to give a shout out to one other pitcher really quick. I almost drank the Kool-Aid on this pitcher. I almost drank the Edward Cabrera Kool-Aid. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
I wanted to drink it, but I was like, all right. I feel like I'm pushing it a little bit, but like, keep your eyes on Edward Cabrera this year. He's gonna be damn nice. And then. Yeah, who did you have rookie of the year in the NL?
All right, so the overwhelming pick is Griffin, right?
I don't know if there is an overwhelming pick.
I guess I should say the favorite. The favorite is Connor Griffin.
Is he? I mean, yeah, he's not going to be down the minors that long, so yeah, he probably is.
Give me Sal Stewart.
Woo. I'll say this: my pick is a Pirate, but it's not Connor Griffin.
Okay.
Give me Bubba Chandler.
I like it. My thing with Sal Stewart is we saw some great things in, again, limited time, similar to Carter Jensen. He didn't really walk. His on base wasn't great, but his actual physically hitting the ball was unreal.
If he qualified for enough PAs for leaderboards, it would be like upper 90th percentile for a lot of these metrics.
Yes. I mean, he just showed so much promise, and yes, it wasn't, a lot of playing experience in the majors, but that's the thing with this. I mean, you have to go based off what you've seen, what you have. So, for me personally, from what I've seen from Sal Stewart, is that he is a tremendous hitter who can crush the ball. I'm looking at his numbers right now from AAA, and it's just unbelievable some of the things he did. His max exit velocity, 96th percentile in the minor leagues at 113.7 miles an hour. The 50th exit velocity, which is, the top 50% of the hard hit balls, 96.2. He just crushes the ball. His expected slugging, 654. Expected batting average, 308. And this is all in 200 at-bats in AAA. Put up a 164 WRC plus 314 ISO. Very talented hitter who hits the ball not only really hard, but can, he hits it across the whole field. Obviously, you would like a guy to pull the ball more, and that's where his home runs come. But he gets a lot of doubles and singles the other way. He kind of uses the whole field to his advantage, and that's something good too. That's somebody who, I was talking with Bryce Eldridge, just how he's a power hitter, doesn't really get on base a ton, doesn't really, get singles. He's just really home run, and that's, the main part of what makes him him. But Sal Stewart, he does everything well. He does chase a bit, but he makes up for it by being able to walk at a decent rate and by, able to drive the ball literally all around the field.
He also can get to those pitches out of the zone. He just has really good play
coverage. Yes, that too. I mean,
it doesn't hurt him as much as it does some other guys.
He has an xWOBA of 0.493 and 0.499 down and in and up and away out of the zone.
Yeah,
so he can get to a lot of pitches that the average hitter wouldn't be able to get to.
Ethan, let me know if I'm being crazy. He only has a 55 grade power, according to Pipeline. Is that not crazy?
Yeah, I think that feels low. I think that's low.
That seems low.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I think that's low. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that he has the capability of being a 30-plus home run hitter. Obviously, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen this year. I'm thinking more around 25, if he plays the full season, that is. Mm-hmm. That's obviously implying that. I think he could be a 30 home run hitter within the next couple of years, 100%. I mean, I think he has all the talent in the world as a hitter.
Okay. I like it. That's a guy who, like, legitimately, like, if he's on it, like, if he hits the ground running, like, could have a very big impact on the outlook of the Red season. We were saying, like, their
Yeah,
lineup, if Sal Stewart's hitting, that lineup looks a lot better, you know?
yeah. And I want to say something so bad. I'm not. Should I just say
Nope,
it
you
for
gotta say
fun?
it. Well, now you have to say it.
I could see a Nick Kurtz like jump from him.
Woo!
He strikes out less than Nick Kurtz. He does chase a bit more, but again, the ability to hit the balls out of the zone is something he's better at than Kurtz for the most part. And it's just, I'm looking at the profile, and it's just, just the way he's able to hit the ball so hard, so consistently, is something that just won't get lost in translation. I feel like
Yeah, like, he's
that's
not
not
he's
something
not
that's just
whiffing on
gonna
those
go
pitches. Like,
away.
he's able to actually, like, put some effective swings on those pitches, so it's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter for him as much, which is
And
good.
that's
Like, to
not
see.
me saying that I think Nick Hurt or that Sal Stewart's gonna hit 36 home runs this year. However, I do think that he could push 30 very well. I
Oh,
don't think
so
that's a
easily,
crazy thing to say.
so easily could. Um, I guess I'll plead my case for Bubba Chandler. So again, I picked the Pirate, not Connor Griffin. I really like Bubba Chandler. I think that he grades out really well. 5-pitch pitcher with 3 above average pitches. I think, 4-pitch pitcher with 3 above average pitches. Excuse me. Um, I think even his curveball, like, can still end up being effective. He is big on his fastball and his changeup. I think that those can end up being some absolute weapons for him. He is he's a more mature rookie. Like, he's coming into the league. He's 23 right now. By the end of the season, he's going to be 24. He is going to be in the rotation from the start of the season. He did have a little bit of time coming up last year, and in some limited time, I think he looked pretty good. Like, the ERA was, it was 4, whatever. Strikeout numbers were solid, just under 9K per 9. He wasn't walking like anybody. And home runs per 9 were like 0.5. Albeit, it was 30 innings, so, I mean, it's not the most indicative. It's not going to tell me exactly how his 2026 is going to go. But when I look at everything, right, I'm not saying I think he's going to walk like 1 batter per 9. He's a 50 control, 50 grade control. Like, he's not that level.
Yeah.
But with that said, this guy's gross. 70 grade fastball. He is going to be able to use his fastball, which he averaged almost 99 miles an hour on last year, to blow by hitters. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to be sitting on 99 fastball, and he's going to whiff a changeup right by you, and you're going to look like a fool.
Yeah.
And then you know what's going to happen? You say, all right, I'm on the changeup fastball. I'm on that. And then here comes his slider, and you're going to look like a dummy. This guy is going to be really good. He's slotted, I think, as their 5-starter right now. He's very quickly, like, on that depth chart, going to move to, like, 2. Like, by the end of the season, if the Pirates end up finding their way into the postseason, I think that Skeens and Chandler, 1-2, might be...
And a healthy Jared Jones at 3, oh my god.
That's going to be one of the most disgusting rotations in all of baseball. I think Skeens and Chandler is going to have an argument for one of the best 1-2s in the entire league. And a lot of that, obviously, like, comes from just how good and how absolutely disgusting Bubba Chandler is. There is a reason why he is the 11th ranked prospect in the league. Why he is ahead of guys
and want to know the scariest part?
What?
They're both 23.
Yup.
If they open the wallets even a little bit, that's a 1-2 that you have. And with Seth Hernandez coming up, this is just, I can't even put into words how gross.
If you can extend Skeens and buy out even, like, you want to say 2 years of his free agency, you have this 1-2 for like 6 years minimum.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't extend Bubba Chandler, which I really hope that if he's good they do. But like he's genuinely just this good. There's a reason why he is ranked ahead of guys like Trey Savage, Peyton Toll, Carson Bench is a pitcher, Thomas White, Kate Anderson. Like, there's reasons why he's ranked ahead of a lot of these guys. Andrew Painter, like, he's that good. And
Yeah.
with him getting, he got his feet, he dipped his toes into the water last year. I think that him being on the roster from the jump, I think he's going to do insane things. That's my rookie of the year pick.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
All right. So, that's our award picks. Let us know what you think in terms of the awards. We have a few more things we're going to discuss now. We've chosen 2 breakout players, and we have chosen 2 bounce back players. I guess you went first, rookie of the year. I'll go first on my first breakout player, and then you tell me your guys. Yeah. My first breakout player, Agustin Ramirez of the Miami Marlins.
Okay.
He had a little bit of a streak when he came up last year, where he was kind of hitting the ball, and then he slumped, and then his OPS fell down to around 700. The main flaw in Ramirez's game is he chases a lot and he whiffs, right? You know how you were talking with Sal Stewart a second ago? How he chases balls, but he has really good plate coverage. It doesn't really affect him, right?
Yeah.
Ramirez whiffs a little more, so it hurts him a little more. He doesn't strike out, but he a 41st percentile whiff rate and a 24th percentile chase rate. They don't pair together too great. But with that said, Ramirez has really good potential with his bat. I think he has really good raw power. He has a 75.2 mile per hour average bat speed, which is the 89th percentile. Some of his batted ball metrics, I'm going to read off some of these percentiles for you. 73rd percentile hard hit rate, 67th percentile barrel rate, and 66th percentile average exit velocity. That's really good. That is really good. So that means when he is hitting the ball, he's hitting the ball very well. There is a reason why he had the 70th percentile expected slugging.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he also pulls the ball pretty well. He pulled the ball in the air last year at 18.5% rate. Not anything crazy, but still, like that's good. We like that. Now, obviously the defense at catcher, not great. With ABS the framing is going to be a little bit better, but the framing's not necessarily what he struggled with. He was really bad at blocking balls, minus 28 blocks above average, and minus 10 caught stealing above average. Those are where he struggles, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm certain those things are going to improve or sell you as to why they're going to improve. I'm not going to try and sell you on that. I say that this is a breakout player because I think he's going to be able to hit. I don't know if forever being a catcher is his gig. Maybe at some point he shifts to first base or DH or whatever. But I think that this guy can have a really good year with the bat. He hits the ball really well already. He has really good raw power. I think if he can slightly improve his swing decisions or his play coverage, I think the swing decisions a little bit better of an improvement. But I think that if he's able to do that, I think he has a big year in store for him. So,
yeah,
that's my case for Agustin Ramirez. What do you got for your first breakout player?
Look, I mean, it's so obvious to say some of the top guys. So I don't really want to just say Jack. I'm gonna say Owen Casey for the first one, a guy we talked about a little bit before. I was just talking about how much I liked what I saw from him in the WBC and what I can expect. And it's the same thing with Sal Stewart in the sense of his exit velos are unbelievable. He gets an unreal amount. He does chase less. I don't think he's as good of a hitter as Sal Stewart, but I do think that he is still able to hold his own. His bat speed is great. His barrel numbers are great. He did struggle a bit against major league pitching in the limited time he did see last season. So the jump is definitely going to be tough, but I am confident that he will be able to, once he gets an extended look and able to actually, right his wrongs, if you will. I think that that'll do him wonders, and I think that he will be a tremendous hitter for this Marlins lineup and a team that's, looking to maybe, who knows, sneak into a wild card spot.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Who you got as your second guy? Your second
So
guy.
before I was talking about how there is a giant that I have to break out and that it was not Bryce Eldridge. It's a pitcher.
Let me hear.
It's Carson Weisenhunt.
Okay.
What I like about him, what sticks out so much about him, is his changeup. I don't know if you're aware about his changeup.
Tell me about it.
Are you?
Tell the people about his changeup.
Guess what? Guess what the grade is on it?
The grade is, I'm gonna say 70.
It's an 80. One of the best pitches in baseball. It has the potential.
For anyone who is not aware, that is the single best grade that a scout can give. Is 80.
Yeah.
That is like generational.
The changeup had in AAA this past season an xWOB of 215, an expected slugging of 240, expected batting average of 168, a whiff percentage of 36%, and a hard hit percentage of 25. The pitch worked for him. It's just, the one thing with him is that his fastball does get hit hard. His slider's good. The fastball is where he has issues. If he can just improve on the fastball at all, and we did see some velocity improvement in spring training from him. If we could see that improve at all, the changeup will be that much more deadly on a pitch that's already deadly. And I think that could be good. And for a team like the San Francisco Giants, who definitely have some question marks when it comes to the rotation, like, they have guys like Malley, Hauser, Roop, guys who can be in that rotation. Obviously, with Hayden Birdsong being out, someone has to step up. I think Weisenhunt's going to be that guy that steps up for them.
There's shoes to fill after like Logan Webb and Robbie Ray.
Yeah,
there's definitely shoes to fill after those two. Yeah, I like that.
100%.
I like that. It's not a guy who would have been like near like the top of my radar like some other guys, but I like it a lot.
Yeah.
My second player is Bo Naylor. I actually really like how Bo Naylor.
I like that.
Sorry.
I said I like that. Almost a Canadian hero, dude.
Shout out the guy.
He is one. I don't care.
He is. I like how Bo Naylor profiles. I do not think that he is perfect. He's a very flawed player. However, there are a decent amount of things that I like. And these are all things that you've heard me say about various players before. He pulls the ball in the air a lot. He walks a lot. He doesn't chase. He doesn't whiff. Those are all things that are pretty good. He has an above average barrel rate. Last year, the overall offensive output was not good. I'm not going to pretend like it was good. He hit 195, 661 OPS, had a 292 xWOBA. Like, it wasn't good. However, there are things within his profile. 66th percentile chase and whiff rate are both good. Those pair pretty well together. And a 78th percentile walk rate. The only thing that I am a little hesitant on is I look at Bo Naylor, right? He doesn't chase, he doesn't whiff, he walks, but he strikes out at a 34th percentile, right? Strikeout rate. What that tells me is that this guy is patient, but he's almost like too patient. Certain guys, you hear people talk about like, you want to be patient outside of the zone, you want to be aggressive in the zone on those meatballs, right? Those are the pitches you want to be hitting. And I think that if Bo Naylor is a little more aggressive on that, I think he has the power to be like maybe like a 20-25 home run guy. That's the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause. However, I will say overall I do like how he profiles. I think behind the dish he can be a solid defensive catcher. Obviously, like, his framing's not great, but with ABS, it's going to be a little bit better. It's not going to be as much as people think, but 72nd percentile blocks above average, 74th percentile caught stealing above average, which last year is really good. I do think that we can clean up the offense a little bit because there's things that he does that are good. Like, those are good signs. Like, the walks, the plate discipline, like, above average bat speed and barrel rate, those should profile well. That's not a 190. Those are not the makings of a 195 hitter.
Yeah.
Right? those are the makings of, I'm not going to say like a 140 WRC plus hitter. Like, that's insane for Bo Naylor. But those are
Oh
the
yeah,
makings of an above average hitter right there.
yeah, and especially with the development that he's able to get, and kind of slow into the role and not kind of be thrown into the fire like a lot of prospects and young players happen to have happened to them. I think that could also be good for him, and I think that is something that really bodes well for players that are just coming into the league, just getting their feet wet.
Another thing I want to point out, um, he had a pretty solid like 2023 year. It was like he had like a little bit over an 830 OPS. Sorry, just over an 800 OPS. Albeit he had 230 PAs. His expected WOBA on contact was not that much lower this past season than it was that year. It was 345 in 2023. It was 332 in 2025. That's not that far off from each other. Which tells me we're not that far off from like Bo Naylor over an extended sample size, bringing that level of production into it. So that's my other breakout pick. I like Bo Naylor. I like Bo Naylor a lot this year. So
Yeah, I
we'll do
like
that.
that too.
On to our bounce back candidates. I'll start, I guess. Listen, this is a guy that I love to clown on because I think it is so funny to clown on this guy. I won't even lie. But if I'm being very genuine with you, I actually have one of my top bounce back candidates, Anthony Volpe. So, a lot of people love to make fun of Anthony Volpe. I am no different. I think it's really fun to make fun of him. I can't lie. However, I think that Anthony Volpe does a lot of really good things on the field. His offense isn't great, right? His defense wasn't really that good last year. In fact, it was quite the opposite. However, the Yankees decided that it was a good idea to have Anthony Volpe play 5 months of the season with a partially torn labrum. That's not going to bode well for a guy playing shortstop. I am honestly impressed that he managed to put up an 83 WRC plus while having a torn labrum or partially torn or whatever. 83, yeah. I am surprised that he managed to post a 301 xWOBA despite a partially torn labrum for 5 months. Let's assume that's 130 games. That, I think, is insane. He boasts an above average, even last year, he boasted an above average barrel rate and above average, or better than average chase rate and above average bat speed. I do not think that these are the makings of an elite hitter. I think that he can find overall some offensive improvement. He can probably be like a 95 WRC plus hitter. And I also do think that his defense last year, that is fake. That is so fake. I have a really hard time believing that he went from being one of the better defensive shortstops in all of baseball.
I mean, that's what the injury does. I mean,
Exactly.
that has to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's fake.
Yeah.
You don't go from 97th percentile odds above average to 8th percentile for no reason. Like, that doesn't just happen overnight, right? And even in 2023, he was a really good defensive shortstop. 15 defensive runs saved, about positive outs above average. 2024, same thing. 6 DRS, 14 OAA. This year, a -7 OAA, a -5 fielding run value. I think that now, assuming he doesn't partially tear his labrum again, and the Yankees say, hey, you're going to play 130 games with a torn labrum, I think that Anthony Volpe will be fine. I don't see a world where Anthony Volpe can't be like a 3-win player again. I'm not asking him to be an all-star.
3, yeah, I mean...
Bounce back.
Like 100%.
100%. Not like, that's just a good everyday player, which he was
100%,
in 2024. He was a 3.5-win player because... yeah, his offense wasn't good. He was an 87 WRC plus hitter, but he was that plus an elite defensive shortstop. If he is a 90 to 95 WRC plus hitter, which I totally think he can be, plus a positive defensive shortstop, that's a 3-win player right there.
I want to see an Andrelton Simmons season from him.
Sorry?
Where I want to see him have a season kind of like Andrelton Simmons, where the WRC plus is above 100 and see him be like a 4.5+ win player. That would be, obviously as a Jays fan wouldn't be good, but as a
I don't.
baseball
Yeah,
fan, that
I
would be
listen.
awesome to
I don't
see.
need it, but like I also just think
Yeah.
that he's like people like I like
I wouldn't
listen.
be shocked,
I
I should say.
understand why people are frustrated with him, but I also think that people are a little hard on him at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
I
he
mean, that's the thing. It's just the pressure that comes with playing for the Yankees. Your mistakes are amplified, and if you're struggling, that's also amplified. There's so much more pressure to play there than there would be in, let's say, Colorado or for the White Sox. So it's like understandable as to why he gets so much heat, but it's definitely not fully warranted.
mm-hmm. like like I get it. Like he was hyped up, and then you're trying to win the World Series, and you have a one-win player at shortstop. I get it, right? I would be frustrated too. But also, like when I think level-headed here, I'm like, all right, like this guy's not as all like he's not terrible. He's not bad. Like he had a bad year because he was playing 130 games with a fucked up labrum, but like he's gonna be. I'm pretty confident he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be coming back to form this year. And again, it doesn't have to be an all-star. Like we don't need him to be an all-star. Like that's okay.
No.
He can be a 3 to 3.5 win starting shortstop. That's a really valuable team or a very valuable thing that this
Yeah.
team could very well use too. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's my first of two guys. So you think
So my
give me one of
first
yours.
one, I'm gonna go Cole Reagans here.
I like that. I like
Had
that.
an had an injury plagued season in 25, which definitely limited what he was able to do. But even going a step further, what he did on the surface versus what he should have done are completely different. It was 61 2/3 innings, 4.67 ERA. He had a WHIP of 118, and look, his expected batting average was 187. His expected ERA was 2.67. So that right there, he got unlucky. He has elite strikeout stuff and swing and miss stuff. I think that this is somebody who can take a big jump. I don't think that this is somebody who will win Cy Young. I think this is somebody who could be in the running, though. If he
He
could stay
totally could
healthy,
be.
I 100% see him, taking that leap, building on the 2024 season where he had 223 strikeouts in 106 innings, 3.14 ERA. I could see him being a 2.8, 2.9 guy, 220 strikeouts, have his whip dip below the 118 mark it was last season, maybe around 113, 114, similar to 2024, maybe even a little more. And we're looking at a guy who can be contending for the Cy Young on a team that's looking to make the postseason once again, who, obviously didn't make it last season, but the year before did. And if they get a season like that from him, why not, right? I mean, that's a legitimate ace if he does.
Oh, absolutely. Like anyone who's tapped in knows that Cole Reagans is the truth.
And
People.
like I said it before somewhat jokingly, but like I could sort of see a scuba like jump from him.
Oh, absolutely. Like he's the guy. Even with a down year, 100th percentile K rate in 2025. That is ridiculous. Damn near 40% of the batters he faced last year, he struck out.
Yeah,
I
and I
need us to
mean,
sit with that information for a second. And everyone listening, I need us all to sit with that information for a moment and understand how ridiculous that is. That is insane. That's insane.
yeah, I mean,
He's
that's
disgusting.
another thing among starting pitchers who like that's the thing. Among a lot of starting pitchers, he was or out of all pitchers, he was eighth in difference in xWOBA, meaning he got so unlucky. He was the eighth unluckiest pitcher in baseball under that metric. And obviously, there's some names that aren't comparable, but it's just the fact that you could visibly see how unlucky he got
Mm-hmm.
in such a short time, and that's another reason why you can't just look at ERA and say, oh, he gives up 4.67 runs per 9 innings, therefore he's bad. No, it's just that's not how that works.
Even if you look at his ERA to his expected ERA, he was like
Yeah.
getting like unlucky by like 2 runs per 9 innings.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like it
I
was
mean,
crazy. But
no, I mean 100%. I like
Like,
For
the
example,
process is still there. Like, it's all still there. Like, not much changed from his 2024 breakout season where he was on it, right? Where he was on everybody. Got hit a little bit harder, but, small sample size, 60 innings versus 180, a third of the innings, it's going to happen. But, like,
yeah, and
he's
his
still that guy.
and when you look at the numbers that he put up in the sense of like the difference, like the expected ERA, you only see jumps that like that much of a different like a discrepancy when it's pitchers who are doing terrible. Like for example, Jordan Romano had an 8 ERA, so obviously the expected ERA was going to be below that. But like even if was at his expected ERA, that would still be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Gibson too. He had a 16. Again, I mean, I'm just going with random sample size. I'm not saying comparing the sample sizes, but
It's the
you
principle.
look at guys who have high ERAs. Obviously, their expected ERA is going to be below it. But if you look at the expected ERA, they're still very high numbers. Like I'm looking in the similar range of him of Reagan's and the difference in ERAs and the expected ERAs are like 527, 461, 399, 694. Like they are really high expected ERAs. But his expected ERA is
Nobody,
very, very,
no,
very
no one
low.
in that camp of like how much he's getting unlucky. No one in that camp is putting up a 2.67 ERA. No one is just nearly as good of a talent
The
as
the
Reagan.
only
So
guy the only guy who I could say like actually got unlucky because I think they're good, like that got unlucky to that extent is Grant Taylor of the White Sox, and that's a reliever, so that's also not really like
mhm.
fully comparable. So it's really like he just got super super unlucky, and
it
yeah, that's part of the game, but that's also why I think that a bounce back is very very you know not just possible but probable.
there is a better chance. Um, he is a lot closer to winning the Cy Young, I think, this year than replicating 2025. Like, there's a much better chance that that happens than him having a 4.7 ERA again, right?
Yeah.
That much better chance of that happening. So, yeah, Cole Reagan's. I like the pick. I mess with the pick. Um, I'll do my next pick and then you'll do yours, I guess.
Yeah.
My second pick, in terms of bounce back candidates, I am going over to Texas. I'm going with my boy Jake Berger. So,
Oh, just drafted him in my fantasy league that I just did.
shout out. I mean, hey, listen, home run strikeout league. He's gonna pop.
I'll show you that. I'll show you the team after this.
I'll mess with that. So Jake
Yeah.
Berger had a rough year in 2025. He had a 688 OPS, popped only 16 home runs. It wasn't great. It wasn't great. Definitely a down year from 24, especially a down year from 2023. There's a lot of things that I still look at Jake Berger's profile and I say I still really like this. His raw power is not going anywhere. His raw power is like always going to be there. 85th percentile bat speed and 86th percentile barrel rate. This guy is a power hitter through and through. I think that this year we're going to see him again. We're going to see him approach 30 home runs at least. Probably, maybe he cracks 30 once again like he did a couple seasons ago. But I struggle to see him not being a productive offensive player for Texas, a team that does hope to make the postseason. 81st percentile hard hit rate, 86th percentile barrel rate, 80th percentile expected slugging last year. Those were what he did in a down year, right? Obviously, his results do not reflect that. There's a lot to like with him. He was not pulling the ball nearly as much this year. His pull air rate was down a little over 6 percentage points from 2024 and almost 9 percentage points from 2023. And that is part of the reason why we are not maximizing our batted balls. And to be fair, Texas is not like a hitter's park, but it wasn't a hitter's park when he got there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's never been a hitter's park, and he's, you know what I mean? He's provided productive offense before, in Texas. So I don't know. Like I've seen stuff. or not in Texas, in fucking in Miami. I don't know why I said in Texas, in Miami. That's not a hitter's park either. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that's a hitter's park.
Yeah.
I can't wait till I find out that has a hitter friendly park factor. But I think that this, you know what I mean? I think that we're gonna see Jake Berger have a better year for the Rangers this year than he did last year. Something more akin to what he was doing with the White Sox when he had that 30 home run season. If he doesn't do that, then it'll probably be closer to his full year in Miami, when he popped 29. But I struggle to see another year where he's a negative win player, he's a 90 WRC plus guy, or 85 or whatever he ends up being. I struggle to see him doing that again. I think he's going to be an above average hitter again. He's going to hit for really good power. I think he's going to be a good middle of that order bat for the Rangers.
Yeah.
What do you got for me, Ethan? What do you got?
My last guy is Mr. O'Neal Cruz.
O'Neal Cruz. I almost put him here, but I was like,
I've been a major believer and truther of his, and a major fan of his.
You are on record on the pod.
Such a fun player, man.
You have been on record.
He struggled last year.
So anyone,
he struggled last year. Unfortunately, his strikeout rate was up. And look, he's obviously going to strike out a lot every year. That's not something that's going to change. But from what I've seen in spring, he has a different approach. And yes, it's easy to just kind of look at spring and say, oh, it's, who cares? No one tried, whatever. But it's so much more process over results. I liked his process. The results were obviously good, but the process is what I liked about just kind of getting into the box and, waiting more for his pitch. And it was evident that he definitely, is trying to adjust to that to be able to kind of wait for his pitch. Now the Pirates have a lot more lineup protection, which will help him see better pitches too. Yeah, this is somebody who's never going to be a high average guy who walks a lot, who has an on base of 400. That's just not who he is.
No.
But he's also not a 200 hitter with a OBP under 300. That's also not what he is. I think that he's also not what he was in 2024. I think he can be even better. I think that this is somebody who's going to have a 30-30 season. Woo! I think he finally hits 30 home runs. I don't think he just, gets a couple more than his career high of 21. I say he gets 30. He had 38 stolen bases last year. I think he'll get another 30 this year. His ISO will come in around 200. It's just what's not to love about him. Nobody hits the ball harder than him, really. I mean, you could count on one hand the amount of people that do.
Yeah, no.
And
literally the best average exit velocity in baseball. I'm sure.
Exactly. And in terms of other things too, like bat speed, I mean, come on. There's not many players that have.
He has
better.
Even though he hasn't had an insane home run season, he has some of the best raw power in the sport.
The only player in baseball that has a higher bat speed, I'm pretty sure, is Caminero. So that in itself, and Caminero obviously is a different hitter to O'Neal Cruz in the sense of he is more, it's just he definitely doesn't swing and miss as much. But that's not to say that O'Neal Cruz isn't similar in the sense of being able to crush the ball and being able to.
It's the highest bat speed in the whole league.
Really? Okay, my bad. I thought Caminero was okay. So even more reason.
Caminero's second. 0.3 miles an hour.
Caminero is coming off a 45 home run season. That's not to say O'Neal Cruz is just going to magically hit 45 home runs despite a career high of 21. But 30 is not as big of as a jump for him as it seems. And I think lineup protection overall is not something that's necessarily, that much of a I don't think that makes someone, or it would automatically make someone a good player, just having better players around, but it helps, especially in the case of not having any really weapons around him. Now batting after is probably going to be Brandon Lau, and it's okay, we can't just pitch garbage, whatever, hope he swings and misses. And Cruz will know that he has capable hitters after him that can drive him in. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll help him, be more patient. That'll help him wait for his pitches. And that in turn will increase, his squared up percentage, his you know, his strikeout rates I think will go down slightly. His walk rates might go up even more. I mean, he does walk like a good amount. It's not like he doesn't walk. It's just
He's a
the
smart hitter.
strikeouts.
He knows.
Yeah,
He's not like a free swinger. And with some of that you mentioned, like if some of these swing decisions improve, he waits for his pitches a little more. That's scary.
yeah. I mean, we saw we could do it in the home run derby. Just like it looks like he's gonna kill a fan when he hits the ball.
No, literally.
Like I'm not saying the home run derby and like oh he can hit home runs there, therefore he will. But I'm saying like he legitimately looks like he's gonna kill a fan with some of those home
That's a
runs.
display of his
And
raw power.
yes, I mean when you can have exit velocities like that on batting practice pitches, my God.
Now you
Because it's
square up
harder to
98 that a pitcher left
yeah,
hanging, and it's into the
yes,
water over there in Pittsburgh.
yes, he is, yes. And I think that this is, like I said, 30-30 season is my prediction for him. Is that a hot take? It might be, because again, 21 home runs to 30 home runs, that is a 9 home run difference, but
Drink the
I think he
Kool-Aid.
has all the
Drink the
talent in the
Kool-Aid.
bat talent. Yeah, I mean, I'm standing on it here.
Drink the
I think
Kool-Aid.
his bat to ball skills are unbelievable when he actually gets the bat to the ball, which is a good amount.
Yeah.
Another thing is though, the another thing though is also with him is the ability to pull the ball.
He doesn't do
We
that.
haven't seen him do that
He
at a
don't do
high
it.
clip. So
He
if
did
he
it at
can
an
just
okay rate last year, or not last year, then in 24.
24, yeah. That's the thing with him though. He is such a his exit velocity is so high to the point where he could sacrifice a little for the launch angle and really make himself like a bigger home run
Yeah,
threat.
I think you've said this before. I think you said this a
Yeah,
while ago, where like this is a
I
guy who
have.
probably trades a little bit of the exit velo for just getting under it a little bit more, hits more in the air and whatnot. Because almost half his ground ball, half of his battle balls almost are on the ground, which isn't
Yeah,
necessarily ideal. Like you are going to be able to maximize this kind of batted ball profile a lot more. If you are hitting more line drives and fly balls as opposed to ground balls. You know what I mean?
that's the thing. And I'm not saying that he needs to absolutely demolish it, go from 95.8 average to like a 90, because obviously that's just not practical and that's not a recipe for success. But getting it down from 95.8 to maybe like 94, 94 and a half by kind of sacrificing it to get be able to pull the ball more and get to a kind of like Pete Alonso, Kyle Schwarber level of exit velos, that would just that could make him a 40 home run hitter.
It would he would profile so much better as a hitter if he's
Yes.
just the launch angle comes in a little bit more. We get more line drives, get more homer, you get more fly balls out of him. That would just overall his power production would instantly transform into one of the better power hitters in baseball. Like literally, if he just did that, he's instantly one of the best power hitters in ball. Instantly,
Oh yeah.
like there is no debate. There would be no debate about it. Um, you like there is talent there. You don't hit the ball this well by mistake. You know what I mean?
No,
This is
no,
not an
not at
accident.
all.
You don't have this kind of batter ball profile and you're just a bum. Like this doesn't happen. There's talent in there. And listen, I was close to picking him. I was really close to putting him on my list, but I was like,
I'm happy one of us did at least.
I am happy. I probably would have shouted him out anyways. There is actually one guy I want to give a quick shout out to. I don't know if he would technically fit in the breakout category because he actually had a pretty good year in 2025. But I just want to take this moment to spread a little bit of Addison Barger propaganda.
I love
My
that. Yeah.
guy. I think that he's going to have a big year. I didn't put him breakout candidate because I think he was already pretty good in 25. I don't know if he counts. I actually think that that's someone who could have legitimately an all-star level hitting year in 2026. I think that his raw power, it's not O'Neal Cruz, but it is really damn good. I think that with more reps in the big leagues, I think that he's gonna be able to get it, man. I think he's gonna be able to look a lot closer to that version of Barger that we saw from May to July last year.
Oh yeah, I had that conversation with I think it was my dad the other day where I was saying just I really think that Barger is gonna be like I saw a thing showing like the lefty bats and like the basically the savant pages for our lefty bats and Sanchez, Barger, and Varsho, and man, the outlook looks good.
I wrote an article for Jay's Journal and it went up the other day. It was like,
Check that out, by the way.
yes, please go do that. I write for them every now and again. It's solid stuff. I enjoy it, and it was more so about like Varsho and Barger hitting in like the 2 and 4 spots. But one of the things that I was talking about was like Barger's like hitting tools are insane. Like he has some of the better raw power in all of baseball, let alone just like on the Jays, just in all of baseball. Him hitting in a prime like run producing spot, whether it's 2 or 4, they're probably going to do Varsho 2, Barger 4. I think the other way around makes more sense, but whatever, doesn't really matter all that much.
Yeah.
Like him hitting in a prime run producing spot between with Vlad, Springer, Kirk's going to be there too. I think Okamoto's going to be really good. Like he's one of the guys I think can stand out. I don't know if you saw. I replied to this tweet, and I can't remember. I think Griff posted. It had something to do with Gate 14, but what I was getting on there. Actually, I might not have posted my reply, but never mind. I found it. Avery of Jay's of Gate 14 had like some Jay's season preview questions, and one of them was like, Addison Barger over under 25.5 homers, and I was like, easy over. Give me that. I was hammering that over. I was hammering it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like overwhelmingly over.
No,
I think it's like more like
40.
27, 28, but like I think 30's not out of the realm of possibility either.
He can if they give him the full reign against right-handed pitching, which I mean I'm pretty sure they're going to, and he stays healthy, I think he can totally hit 30. So yeah, I just wanted to push my Addison Barger agenda for a sec.
Yeah.
That's all. I think that's all we got today.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got today. So, as always, everyone, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining us prior to this 2026 MLB season. By the time you're hearing this, opening day is going to. Well, I guess it's today, but by the time you're hearing it, game time is probably going to be like 8 hours from now. So. Hey man, we're happy. We're happy to be back. We will be there. We are excited to be back for another season. We hope that you all stick with us for another season. Thank you, for listening. Any amount, whether you skipped ahead and just listened to the last 5 minutes, whether you have stuck through the entire 3 hours. Shout out to you. Thank you, so much for listening. Ethan, is there anything you want to say quickly before we sign off?
No.
All right. Everyone, thank you all for listening. We will see you next week. Take care, everybody.